Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't ask for it. You did not request us, but we have come back. This is Mad. I am Ryan Major. I'm GTrip14 on Reddit.
Oh, now it's always like, who goes next?
Just somebody's got to jump in. We've got no plan here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Deco.
Yo, I'm Tom Jacobs. I'm Jake, and I'm Decorative Gentleman on Reddit.
And Poppy.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Levine, and I'm PoppyMoonray on Reddit.
Any relation to the singer from Maroon 5?
No, unfortunately. Well, no, fortunately, because he's kind of a shithead now.
Kind of.
It does seem that way. He is not America's sweetheart anymore.
I did used to want to marry him when I was younger, but not so we would have this. I wanted to hyphenate it. I wanted to be Rebecca Levine.
Would you have called one of them Levine?
No, if I married Avril Lavigne too, if I divorced one of them and then married the other, maybe then I would.
You could be a throuple. You could be
Levine,
Levine, living La Vida Loca.
I like that you have such a plan, though.
And Jordan.
Hey everybody, I'm J Group on Reddit. My real name is Jordan Group, and I write horror. And yeah, I've got a YouTube channel too.
Have you ever considered marrying any of the Levines or Levines? Or Levitas?
Zach Levine, are we talking about the basketball player Zach Levine?
It sounds like you're talking about the basketball.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you like who you like, Jordan.
Is this someone in the Toronto Raptors?
No, he plays for the Chicago Bulls, but he's very talented.
There's me.
I just like basketball, so.
All right, panel, I have a question. So we have 3 people watching right now, so that's fantastic.
Yes,
so
3 whole people.
Raise your hand if you are one of the 3. So we got a Deco there. We've got Jordan, 2 of our watchers. Well, hello, our single streamer tonight.
Oh my gosh! I hope they're a serial killer.
No. I'm not watching this. I don't have Twitch. I don't think.
Okay. So you're not watching this? Okay.
No.
So
Dominator 619 says hello. Hello, Dominator. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Assuming Dominator is a serial killer and is trying to pick out which one of us to kill, who do we think they would choose and why? To kill first, because obviously they'll take out all of us. But
I mean, I've got to be honest, and I don't know exactly where everybody is, but Travis, you are very near Baltimore, which is a superb place to murder and hide a body.
It's true. And I'm actually on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, so I'm sandwiched between Baltimore, Chesapeake Bay, great place to disappear, and then the Atlantic Ocean. Like, you could murder me and then just tuck me away anywhere you want, and no one would ever know.
It seems solid.
That's good to know.
All right.
Anyone out there, if you're looking for the Marie on the Moon IP to distribute at your own volition, Travis Brown is on the Eastern Shore of Maryland.
Yeah.
So Travis, if somebody manages to kill you, does that make them the owner of Marie on the Moon?
Oh yeah, no, it's Highlander.
Well,
definitely.
Well, right on.
There's a quick.
I think that's a good setup, though. If you manage to kill all of us, you just inherit our stories.
I feel like we're really banking on our one person watch not actually wanting to kill all of us, because we've thrown that door wide open and just been like.
I think the one person watching us definitely wants to kill us.
Well, wait, no. Apparently, Dominator is playing along here. So your question was, in what order are you going to kill us, Travis? Now, Dominator has said it would depend on the answer to this question.
Oh, okay.
What is the best part of Mambo number 5? And I'm going to go first since I read it. Dominator, the best part of that song is when it's over.
How dare you?
Be a powerful enemy today.
An enemy for
Hopefully
life.
I hope it's Poppy that I've made an enemy, not the murderer.
You may have made a murderer out of both of us now.
Yeah.
Well, Poppy, we've already established I'm going to body slam you. So
Lord.
I can take it. I can totally take a person much bigger than me body slam.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm worried
I'm a very
about
small statured man.
I'm worried about no sleepover. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Not everyone's getting out of there alive. MASH in particular, if you're watching this later.
Brittle bones,
me-
man. It's rough.
This
For
is
me,
true.
It's Monica. When he mentions Monica, that's when Mamba number 5 starts.
Okay, so Dominator. We have Monica from Deco.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Jordan.
say.
Oh,
Oh, no,
Travis.
Jordan.
No, go ahead, buddy.
Well, my favorite part of Mambo number 5 is when you find the secret commemorative collector's edition that has Mambo's number 4 and 6 on there as well. So I would say when you listen to the entire, it's really an orchestra. It's an experience. So the entire Mambo selection is the best part of Mambo number 5.
Does anyone have Lou Bega's number? Let's get him on.
No, I think the homeless shelter probably does.
No.
No, I'm gonna feel terrible if Lou Bega is homeless. I'm gonna look that up while you guys answer.
You
know he's
that Lou
watching this.
Bega is Dominator.
Yeah,
What if this is Lou Bega?
he's watching this right now.
I didn't want to tell you guys, but I'm actually Lou Bega.
You need the snazzy hat.
I don't have snazzy hat money anymore, Poppy. It's
Well,
hard times for Bega.
Damn.
Has Dominator confirmed that he is Bega?
No, not yet. Dominator, if you are Lou Bega, go ahead and let us know. We would love to get you on the show. But we still are waiting for Poppy and Jordan's
Okay.
answer.
Mhm.
my favorite part is when he just says the trumpet, all excited.
Jordan?
I mean, the whole song is so good. How do you pick a favorite part of the whole thing?
Boo.
I hope
No.
that was the wrong answer.
No.
That's why Jordan is first.
What a Canadian answer.
All right, Dominator. Dominator can neither confirm nor deny that they're Lou Bega. And just since this has turned into Lou Bega trivia night, his actual name is David Lou Bega Balamezi.
Oh wow.
Lou Bega is one name,
Oh, it's-
Lubega.
okay, so
Oh,
someone's parents hated them.
now Dominator says the trumpets are the best. So Poppy, you're going to be murdered last. Dominator,
Yay.
if you could, while we talk, if you could tell us now the order in which you're going to hunt us down, I would really appreciate that. So let me get my affairs in order.
Do we want to play No More Mustaches again, like we did last time?
Oh man, does anybody have a piece of paper to keep track?
Oh yeah, we definitely have to keep track this time.
I'll bring up a notepad.
I'm sitting.
If,
right
if somebody
next to-
else can,
No, I got paper. I got paper.
All right.
shouldn't you have a legal pad, Deco?
I do have legal pads, multiple. They're in a drawer. They're over there.
I really want to commit a crime just so you can represent me.
So now, Ryan, have you ever seen an illegal pad? Because
Oh.
those-
I have. No, they're fantastic. There is a little button over on the edge and a switchblade pops out.
Anything
All
that's not like
Right.
those really long yellow pads, that's not legal pad.
Travis, what do you
what?
think an illegal pad is?
I could tell you, but then I'd have to get Dominator to kill you. So I don't know.
I mean, Dominator's already going to kill me. Look, my answer was that the song was bad and I'm glad it was over. Dominator's answer was that the trumpets were the best part. So I've got to be number one.
I do really, now that that Rebecca said that, I respect the trumpets part, because it's almost like the guy's kind of surprised that there are trumpets all around him. He's like, trumpets. He's like, and then they all start playing. He's like, yes,
Yeah.
A trumpet.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect that. So it's exciting stuff.
And another trumpet. He's just-
Dominator has still not told us the order of death, guys. I'm really sorry.
He's probably driving to the first one, right?
Hey, now, why is Dominator a guy, man? This is an equal opportunity world.
You're
It
right.
could be a killer.
Yeah.
He, or it. Could be anything. Could be a sentient group of spiders from Australia.
I think this is a theory, but it's CK Walker.
I believe that. That checks
Or
out.
it could be Walker, Texas Ranger. Those are the two leading.
How do we know they're not the same?
Never
Have
seen
you
them in the
ever
same
seen them
room.
in- I haven't.
You're right.
Never
It's
had
true.
seen them in the same room.
And now, would anybody here admit to being nerdy enough that they played World of Warcraft?
I don't think that's nerdy anymore. That's just
Anybody?
like, That's mean.
Well, okay. Well, I played when it was nerdy, and the best meme that I ever saw was a Void Walker with a cowboy hat on, and it was Void Walker Texas Ranger.
I love that because I did main a warlock all through Burning Crusade.
Nice.
Yeah, just like literally everybody else.
In Warcraft 3, I snagged Darkness as a name. Just Darkness.
My old friend.
My old friend.
Jordan, can you remind us how we play the mustache game? Because I've forgotten.
Oh yeah, and Jordan, why the fuck do I have this piece of paper? Actual fucking pencil, which is green.
Wow.
All right. So if I remember correctly,
You have to. It's your game. You're the only one.
you put me on the spot here. I thought we all.
If he
thought we
does
all knew.
not, I will remind you.
So we're all gonna. So the first person's gonna name a person or a cartoon character, living or dead, doesn't matter. Just a name of somebody, and then they're gonna say no more something. So I'll give an example. That's the best way to do it. So if you said no more, if you said Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, and you said no more mustaches, then you can never say anybody else with mustaches again. You could say a cartoon character, even though Ned, he's a cartoon character. You just can't use mustaches. So if, and then you just build on that. So the next person would say another person, as long as it doesn't have a mustache, then they're good. And they would say, let's use another Simpsons character, Professor Frink, no more glasses. And then no more pieces of people with glasses. And then you can't have any people with glasses or mustaches after that. And then just going on and on until until people get eliminated, basically.
All right. So why am I secretary?
So you have to remember the things that we've mentioned. So you got to write down, I guess, the things that we mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah, what you want to do, Deco, write down. If he says no more mustaches, just write mustaches. And so if somebody names a character, a person, whatever, with a mustache, then Deco, you're kind of our judge. You'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry that person, place, thing, or idea has a mustache," and so that person gets a strike. And I believe, what is it? 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah, we can do 3, or we can just do, you get 1 wrong and you're out.
That's sure.
I love it.
The order I've got here is Jordan first, then Rebecca, and then me, Ryan, and Travis.
That sounds about right.
Cheers.
All right. So I'll say Kevin Spacey.
Oh God,
no, that's too problematic. Sorry, no, that's too problematic. I'm not going to do Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Let's backtrack.
Let's avoid that altogether. Pele, no more soccer players.
I'm gonna say Ryan Reynolds, no more Mint Mobile part-time owners.
Damn, that wipes out my whole list.
I thought so. I thought it was really going to deplete everything.
All right. I'm gonna say Avril Lavigne, no more Canadians.
Okay. I'm going to say Cormac McCarthy, because that's been a theme. And no more men.
I'm gonna say Wonder Woman, no more superheroes.
It's back to me again.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, Elizabeth Warren, no more politicians.
Amelia Earhart, no more pilots.
This is terrible.
I've already got mine if you don't block me there, Deco.
All right. I'll say Phyllis Schlafly, no more abortion.
Mary Curry, no more academics.
Ooh. I'm gonna say Sasha Grey, no more actresses.
No more actors.
Avril Lavigne. No more musicians. Has that one been done yet?
Didn't someone already say Avril Lavigne no more Canadian?
Yes.
And
shit,
Jordan
she's
is the first
Canadian.
one dead. And
Oh, and I'm Canadian too.
Jordan.
Oh no, that's so sad. All right, I'm out.
Wait, are you out for good though?
I don't know. What are we? Are we
Yeah.
doing one strike and you're out, or
I think we can do
Yeah.
2, man. Let's have some fun.
1.5
two? All right.
strokes.
All right, so
Hesitate.
does this thing count? I can
What?
barely read my writing.
Oh, so then
Yeah,
I gotta
he's-
pick a different one. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you've got to get one that applies.
Oh shit. All right. I'm really blanking here now.
You can ask
Nemo.
for a readback.
Nemo, no more fish.
That's a man.
That is also.
It's not a-
No.
It's not. It's a what?
Nemo is a male.
That's a boy. It has to be
Or
girls.
man.
It's not a
No,
boy. It's a
apparently
fish.
clownfish can actually naturally change their gender based on.
Oh.
No, they fucking.
didn't say no more
I saw it in a
males.
documentary about
Travis.
specifically clownfish.
We didn't say
No,
no more
that's,
males. We said
uh,
no more men or boys, right? That's different from fish.
Dory
But fi-
was a woman, clearly. Nemo was a boy. Who played Nemo?
Nemo's a fish, though.
You guys are
Am I
really
the only one who
specific
sees
this
this?
gender. And
Yeah, but
Male
it takes a little
fish.
boy fish and a girl fish to make a little baby fish.
All right, I'm out. I'm out. It's all good.
Dominator has left.
No, Dominator said that they were not going to kill anybody. So apparently
Oh.
we all answered the question correctly.
Wait,
Now, Jordan,
There's a
come
benevolent
Jordan.
Dominator.
Nemo-
I should have picked
Nemo's
Dominator
fine.
because we don't know if Dominator's a man or a woman.
Well, that's true. Let's just say Nemo's still in play there, since Travis says that clownfish are
They
So
took
Dominator's-
hermaphrodites.
Dominator's
They
still
have
here.
the option,
All right,
just like
so,
seahorses.
so Jordan, what's your qualification for Nemo?
It's a fish. It's not a boy or a man. It's a
Right,
fish.
right, but he says no
Right,
more
right.
fish.
So no
Deco.
more fish?
Correct.
Yeah, no more fish.
Fine.
Wow.
Fish.
Really,
Yeah.
really broad strokes there, man.
All right, Meg Griffin. No more
Poppy.
cartoons.
You skipped me. How dare you?
Oh
Poppy,
no!
what?
Oh no!
And
I
here
already
you were trying to be
tried.
inclusive,
Fuck you,
getting
dude.
rid
Get a
of
strike
men,
for that.
and then you overtalk the one woman. How dare you?
That's true. No, that's just who I am as a person, and it's time for
Yeah,
you
I
all to
believe
know
it. You're
that.
deeply sexist.
No, and misogynistic would be the
Mm.
best way to put that.
I
And
believe
Poppy, go make me a sandwich.
Ryan,
Wow.
get your wife in here right now.
She's
I wanna talk
sleeping.
to
Leave
her.
her out of this. She already hates me. Let's make America hate me too.
Well, that one guy already hates you.
Oh,
Change
yeah.
your name to fuck off crybaby.
We'll talk about that later. That'll
You
be
know
fun
that
cannon fodder.
Dominator is fuck off crybaby, right?
Mm.
Dominator, why did you do this to me?
I really hope so. I hope you've got like a swim fan just to stop
Uh,
like really into it.
Let's finish the game, then we'll talk about our crybaby in a little bit, which may be me.
All right, Poppy. It's
Okay. Mary Shelley, no more authors.
Ooh. Monster House, no more inanimate objects.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Wait,
Nice.
what? Is Monster House not a man? I mean, I guess it is.
It's a house?
But wait.
Literally no way to check. You
Also-
can't like go down to the
also,
basement and be
Travis-
like,
Travis, I'm next, not you.
oh,
Well, Travis, we don't know if Monster House has a heat pump or a boiler downstairs, okay?
honestly, I don't think either is conclusive. Like,
So
Clearly one signifies, man, come on.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go ahead and
know.
say, this is just like off the top of my head, but Monster House, no more inanimate.
okay.
No more inanimate
Uh,
objects, did you say?
Yeah, no more inanimate objects.
Mm.
I gotta challenge that.
Yeah, you're getting challenged. Okay.
Am I getting challenged? Do I need to
Yeah.
read back the list?
Yeah, by the man that doesn't know that fish can be boys. Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, hang on. I'm pouring whiskey.
Cheers.
inanimate objects.
I'm mostly just trying to buy time for my answer.
That makes sense. All right, Ryan. So from the start, Jordan said soccer players. All right.
Correct.
Monster House was clearly not. Mint Mobile Advocates, said Poppy, citing Ryan Reynolds. Canadians, said me. Ryan said men in general as a sex. Travis, superheroes. Then Jordan,
Fish.
politicians.
Oh, sorry.
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. Poppy. Products. I'm
I
not.
don't remember what I said.
It looks like PRDANTS. Again, I can't read my own writing.
Was it Protestants? Because that you can't do that. That's rough.
We'll have to make some
I don't think
phone
it was
calls
Protestant.
then.
All right. So anyway,
Pilots.
pilots.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You named like
Yeah,
the
Amelia
one out of two
Earhart.
pilots.
Let me draw planes. Right. So I'll know.
It's going to be very detailed. Everybody take a rest.
Right. So Poppy's was pilots. Mine was abortion deniers. Ryan's was academics. Then Travis's was Stevens.
Authors,
Actresses.
actresses.
No, not actresses. There was something else that you did. Fuck. I don't know. Jordan said fish. Poppy said authors. I said inanimate objects, and then we're back to Ryan.
Okay. Shit, I had one until we went through all that. Give me a second.
Think of one. Assassins.
Eileen Weirnos. No more killers.
Killers.
Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna say Mia Khalifa. No more Twitch streamers.
That's a
She is an
porn star.
actress.
You can be multiple things, right?
You can.
But that's
but
the
what
nature.
is she known for?
is an
I
actress.
didn't realize
Not
you're
an
that familiar.
actress.
Everyone was so familiar with
Hey,
it.
look, I'm a misogynist.
All right.
What do you
I think
expect?
you get a strike for that. I think we got to start giving strikes because
Okay,
otherwise we're gonna play this
completely
all
fine.
night.
All
Right?
right, completely. I'll
Jordan
take
has
the
a
strike.
strike. Travis has a strike. All right,
All right.
no more what? No more activists.
Oh, do I have to? Oh yeah, no, I'll do Greta.
Thunberg.
Yes, no more activists.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Thank you for walking me through that one.
But it's
Very welcome.
I think you should get
teamwork
half,
makes a dream work.
split the points for that one. I'm gonna say Pebbles from the Flintstones, and no more cartoon characters. Just to shoot
I'm
myself. in
sorry,
the foot.
I actually picked that already
You
because
picked cartoon characters.
I did. I named Meg Griffin, and I said no more cartoon.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
shit.
Wow,
Did
Jordan.
you?
I didn't hear it in the
I
list.
don't have that. I don't have that. I've got
Oh, you've been
I
missed
sleeping on me
it.
over there, Deco.
men academics killers.
I thought somebody said it, and then when it wasn't in the list, I was like, "Oh, so it wasn't."
I
there
remember
then.
that though.
Did I say it now or?
No, you did. No, I
You
remember
did
now.
say
that you're-
it.
Now that you're
Yeah.
saying it, yeah. Okay, I'm
It's
out.
not
I'm
just
out.
a fever dream. It was real.
It's all good. I'm out.
I'm trying to say it next time, but I've got men academics and killers, and I've got 4 before you.
This is a very difficult game to
It really
really
pay
tricky now.
attention to. Yes.
Well, so Travis and Jordan both have 1 strike, which
Yeah.
means they're on the chopping block. And it's cartoons, and then it's Poppy's turn actually.
Okay. Martha Stewart. No more people who've been to jail.
Hey, I don't know. Martha Stewart's kind of an actress to me too, and a bit of an
I
activist,
don't. Okay, I don't know if I agree with that, but
and possibly a fish. I've never seen.
I've never
evidence
checked.
otherwise.
I don't
Yes.
know.
She could be a boy. We don't know.
All right, I've got inmates for Martha Stewart.
Okay. Thank you for believing in me, Deco. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right, Jesus fucking Christ. I've got okay,
Deco, if you were a court reporter,
mhm,
I don't know if this would be keeping up with the pace of the case.
uh-huh.
No, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your train of thought.
Was that it? Were you just like, if you were a court reporter, I don't know if you're like a bullshit court reporter or not.
I imagine the judge being like, read it back, and Deco's like, oh, no.
I get just so I can read back most of it. Fuck you, Travis. You know what? A lady who has a fond place in my heart, Doja Cat. No more singers. She's
Oh,
not
you skipped over me now. Am I the new trash?
what I
here,
did.
Deco?
Poppy said inmates. It's me next. I've got a fucking list here. You fucking
I just wanted to see if I could get you torn up
Deco.
there.
That's me.
And it worked. No, that's beautiful. I just wanted to see if we could get your feelings hurt. We did. My night is a success.
Singers.
So whose turn is it? Who did you?
That'd
I-
be mine. He just showed us the paper.
Oh. Exhibit A. Yeah, right.
Joan of Arc and No More Saints.
I mean, we already said Martha Stewart, so I don't know.
Yeah, she's.
It's true. She really
I don't know.
is.
Martha Stewart had to join a gang in
So,
jail.
wait.
Are you saying gang
Joan of
members
Arc.
can't be saints?
Joan
I've
of
never
Arc
met many that were saints, but
How
Joan of
many have you met?
was- Joan of
18.
Arc was an inmate captured by the Christians, wasn't she? She was burned at the stake. She had to have been an inmate.
Wait, Martha Stewart?
Right.
Oh
Joan
no,
of Arc.
Joan of Arc. Okay, yes.
You know what? No, Deco, you're correct. I'm gonna have to take the hit.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm crossing Ryan.
Also, Ryan, honestly, she was an activist. Like, you kind of got to give her that one.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think
Joan
you're
of Arc.
applying that
For the
loosely to hit
French.
me.
what was your qualifier?
The French don't deserve activists. What was that?
What was your qualifier? Joan of Arc was a French woman?
Saint. A saint.
Saint. Okay. No more saints.
So you're just knocking out Mother Teresa because none of us know any other.
I'd say she would go into activist too.
I know. Saint Margaret, Saint Mary.
St. Mary's iffy. She doesn't
You
count.
just look at hospitals, man. That's all. Dominator's gone.
Anyone who would watch this should be gone.
All right. Now we're up to Travis.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. Lindsey Vonn, no more athletes.
Is she an activist at all?
I guess for like snowboarding for
I
sure.
mean, if we Googled it, I'm sure she is. But if we don't know, we don't know.
All right.
She's also a fish, so I don't know.
Yeah, she's going to, no.
Heidi Klum, no more retired models.
Oh.
Retired models specifically.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it easier on everybody.
Yeah,
That's
whoever
That was
said,
what I was doing too.
Whoever
Yeah.
said men and
That's
knocked
how you
out.
play this game. You're supposed to be nice on people, not be like no more men, no more. Just eliminate half of everything.
I'm blowing you all kisses. There's one for each of you.
Julia Child, no more chefs.
Wasn't Julia Child an activist for food?
No, she
And an
was
actress?
not.
No, an actress. She had a
No.
show.
No, that's
Yeah.
different. Are the Kardashians actresses? No.
If you say Martha Stewart, that also knocks out Julia Child just by association.
I don't think that's correct.
They were both in prison. They both joined some gangs.
All right.
There should be like a 10-second timer that audibly
All
clicks
right.
down.
So tick, 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 whatever the fuck. All right. I'm gonna say CMD.
Oh,
No more no sleep mods.
okay.
So,
Yeah, get rid of them anyway. They're terrible.
okay. I think I have the one that'll end the game. Is everybody ready?
Wait, no, CMD. She's written stuff. She's an author.
That's true.
Mm.
Oh, that's
Ah,
true.
Fuck.
welcome to the strike club.
All right.
I
I'm
think
still
it's everybody
reading.
but Poppy now. Is that right?
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
it's Poppy.
Poppy literally just shows up and is like, I'm gonna win everything.
That's my sole reason for being here, is just to demolish. And then I'm just gonna leave while I yell a trumpet as I go.
A trumpet.
A
All right,
trumpet.
Ryan.
Okay, I think I have one that can ruin the game, and it
Okay.
will wrap it up. So I'm gonna try here. Has everybody seen the movie Splice?
No.
Actually, yes.
Okay, so Dren from Splice, No More Women.
Oh,
That's a
that gets
Iffy.
rid of all the answers.
well, no, because we don't know what if gender is even like a social construct for xenomorphs. So the xenomorph from Alien is my pick.
Oh.
No
Oh,
more,
shit.
no more aliens.
Oh, you mother.
All right. So Ryan did women. And
Men and women, give me all the credits.
Travis did alien. All right. So good luck. Jordan, it's you.
I think Ashtray is still up for grabs.
All right. Nitro, the shark, the squishmallow.
No, someone already said fish, and sharks are technically fish.
But it's a
Yeah,
stuffed
Oh,
animal.
no.
Fucking hard, Jordan. You're out.
It's a stuffed animal, though.
No, you argued and you got a pity point from Nemo. You're gone. Son.
All right, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote.
You know this. Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
on
Jordan,
Jordan's
definitely 100%
side.
guilty.
All right.
It's
Hey,
two.
So
is a shark a fish? Raise your hand.
Let's
Oh, that's true. It's not a fish.
let's
How's it not? How's a shark not a fish?
let's do a mod vote right here on Mad. All right, a Mad mod.
All right, that's
Is a
three.
shark a fish? It is. I'll argue it.
But it's a stuffed animal, though. It's not a shark.
Poppy?
I don't think it, I think he is fine.
To be fair, Jordan.
Oh, wait.
This game is all about semantics.
Gecko also
Travis.
said inanimate objects. So
Yes.
no matter what.
Oh,
fish
shit,
are an
yeah,
inanimate
you're right.
object.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Okay,
That's
yeah,
more
I'm out.
accurate.
Yeah, you got me. That is true. Good luck to everybody else. though. Good
Also,
on the good animal.
technically an activist. So, like, come on.
Sure, Squishmallow rights are everybody's rights. Dominator is still here, by the way. They
Oh,
wanted us to
poor-
know, and we know we
Faithful.
appreciate you.
It's
Not
so
only
sad.
that, they said this is getting good.
Oh, now
Is that right?
I'm gonna say R2D2, who is not a man because he's a robot,
Yeah.
and no one has said robot so far.
It's
so no
true,
more.
but R2D2 is in the cartoon version of Star Wars droids.
also isn't R2D2 kind of an object? Okay.
It is
Aren't
inanimate
you
as
kind of an
well.
object?
It's not inanimate, though. It does move around.
That's fair. That's
It
fair.
depends on if R2D2 was passed the Turing test, which everyone wants to Google. I think that'd
Which
be-
I think, if we're going by
I'm-
Blade Runner Turing test, then R2D2 definitely has personality, and Poppy's just started the AI apocalypse.
I'm fine with that. It's
yeah.
about time.
All right, so Poppy's suggestion was no AI,
No robots.
No robots.
no robots. Okay.
I actually still have one now. I'm so excited.
Do you?
I do. I'm waiting for everyone else because I am not letting Poppy win this. She's the guest.
No.
She's just shown up in our house and she's like, I'm going to destroy all of you. Can't have it.
Good fucking lord. Okay. So we're not allowed to have aliens, women, inanimates, or robots. I'm going to say the Whole Foods conception of God non-gendered, non-inanimate God.
But Whole Foods?
Yeah, Whole Foods. Fuck you,
Very
dude.
specific.
All right, no, Deco, I've got you here. If it is the Whole Foods God, and I'm with you, I'm following you. Whole Foods is an activist for nutritious foods. And if you're the god of Whole Foods, you're an activist for a more nutritious lifestyle.
That's and also Poppy did say no Protestants, so that's pretty close.
Did you say no Protestant?
No. But Travis made a good call back there. And I
No
like it.
pilots. All right,
Right.
So that's at least a strike, maybe 2 or 3.
I think Whole Foods Gods works. All right. Do we have is Command listening?
Dominator.
Yeah, let Dominator decide. Dominator, was that
Dominator. Hey.
was that literally anything?
Whole Foods God. All right, the God of Whole Foods. Is that a violation of this rule?
Right. Keep in mind, Dominator. Some of us think that Whole Foods God is an activist for a nutritious diet.
And I think that Whole Foods God is a fucking corporate shill, and it's not an activist for anything.
You guys need to take a breath before you accidentally invent a new religion. And this is
Deco is a
L. Ron
lawyer.
Hubbard shit in 30 years.
We're gonna write Battlefield Whole Foods.
What's Dominator say?
We're waiting.
Nothing yet.
They may have given up on us.
Fucking
So Deco, I'm going to continue going while we wait for our randomly chosen arbiter because
I want a show of hands. All right, there's 4 of you here. All right, Whole Foods God, activist or not?
Is
Okay.
hand up the not or the yes?
Oh, we have an answer from
Hand
Dominator,
up
by the
is-
way.
Oh,
activist.
doesn't matter what we
Yeah.
say. Dominator's
So-
Dominator says would not qualify as an activist, but they did not say if you got a strike, Deco.
Okay. I think that means he didn't get a strike.
I think so too.
I think
yeah.
Dominator's got your back here, Deco.
I think
Yeah.
that's okay.
I think
That's
you're good.
okay.
All right,
All right.
So
Dominator.
what was your
I'm gonna write
qualifier?
in divine being.
Okay. All right. I have one more and then I think I'm out. Pumpkinhead.
Well, what's the qualifier?
No, I'm waiting for arguments first.
What do you think?
I think it's fair.
Pumpkinhead.
Somebody's going to say that like Pumpkinhead is a big believer in like marijuana rights or something. So I'm just waiting.
I don't know why. I really thought Pumpkinhead was a guy.
Same.
I don't know if that reflects more on me and Poppy as like
I think
a
it does.
social thing.
I thought that Pumpkinhead was a pilot.
Well, Pumpkinhead is definitely a Protestant, which is problematic. But you know what Pumpkinhead is not, Jordan? Kevin Spacey.
That's true. I retracted that whole suggestion, by the way.
I'm gonna
You went for soccer
I'm gonna
instead.
Wikipedia Pumpkinhead because I'm pretty sure he's a dude.
I'm okay. No, well, here's the thing. Is it a dude when it becomes Pumpkinhead? Because here's the thing, Pumpkinhead doesn't wear pants, and I'm not seeing a pumpkin schlong.
I mean, Daffy
Pumpkinhead
Duck,
and
Donald
then,
Duck, like
You and checking for the fucking
Winnie the
Goldbergs.
Pooh. There's people
nobody's
out there that
object-
don't wear pants.
Nobody's objected to Pumpkinhead yet, so I think
No,
you're
no,
good
Travis
so
is
far.
trying though, and I'm going to give him a shot.
All right, so to be clear, the standings so far are Jordan is out. All right.
Yeah.
Poppy has nothing on her. Okay.
Just got it in the bag.
It's free and clear. Deco, me, Ryan, and Travis all have a strike.
Dominator, help us out here. Is Pumpkinhead gender neutral?
Ryan, would you
I'll
mind
be right back.
giving a little bit of exposition about what Pumpkinhead is?
Deco, I would. It would be so bad though. Pumpkinhead was from the bare minimum early '90s, and I probably have not seen that since I was in a middle school sleepover. So Pumpkinhead is some kind of eldritch deity, I
So-
believe, and terrorizes towns.
I
Travis, did you
did.
find
I
us some
just
good
looked it up.
information?
I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and I think you're safe because I thought it was one of the characters, the main characters that gets converted after the death of his family. But no, he actually calls up a demonic entity called Pumpkinhead, and no gender
Oh.
supplied.
Okay.
We don't know
Well.
if they're an activist, an actress, a streamer, or a Protestant. It's very difficult. I think that you might have actually slipped through the barriers, and Pumpkinhead is an acceptable choice.
That's all I've got. Now, Dominator says Pumpkinhead
All
is
right.
canonically male.
Oh,
But if Pumpkinhead is a demon, according to Wikipedia, I'm going to argue that demons are gender neutral.
I trust Dominator more than Wikipedia.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
because
that's-
you want me to take a strike, but
that's canonically male. All right. It's Travis next. So what-
Oh, mine's easy. It's gonna be the chat GPT.
Chat GPT.
Mhm.
Is that not a robot?
would that not be AI?
Well, I said robot, not AI, technically.
Oh, did you? Oh,
She said robot, not AI.
I'm with her.
All right. So Chat GPT.
So what is that eliminating?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to eliminate anything that can think.
How did you make it worse than me?
Literally the rest of you.
All right. All right. So things that can think, says Travis.
Somehow we still have 5 viewers. 5.
Oh, Dominator 619 says Pumpkinhead was canonically male. Did we all get this?
It's true,
Yeah.
but Travis looked it up and said it was a demon.
I didn't see
so-
it, but I trust Dominator. I assume they watch Pumpkinhead every other Thursday. So
I mean, I'll
Now-
take the second strike.
Now it's down to Poppy, me, and Travis. Poppy, you're next. Things
Okay,
you cannot think is your thing.
I'm gonna pick the willow tree that's in the park across from my house, and I'm eliminating trees. It doesn't think.
I
And
know,
it's
but
not
that one
inanimate, and
that
it's
is
not
a
male or
classic
female.
activist. That willow tree cares a lot about climate change.
I agree, actually.
No,
Yeah, no, I agree too. Jordan,
no.
how do you
Jordan.
feel?
I'm out. I don't get a vote.
No, I'm out too, and I'm voting, man. What do you think? Come on.
A tree?
I think
Dominator's
a
going to
tree
tell
is
us they
fine.
don't believe in trees.
Does the tree have a name?
You can be
Winifred.
whatever you want to name it.
But it doesn't
Winifred.
currently have a name.
Not that I'm aware of, but it hasn't told me if it goes by a name of its own.
Hmm.
All right, so
I mean, if the
this
tree had a
one-
name, then
it's clearly
I think it counts. I think it's fine.
Dominator, our judge.
Douglas, it could be
Yeah.
Douglas Fir.
the
So
Dominator is
that would be a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I say it's okay.
willow tree.
I just
Good
named him
name.
Douglas Fir, so I think it's okay. I agree.
Yeah, but you're also
Thank
the
you,
first one out,
Jordan.
Jordan. So I don't know if we can trust your
Wait,
opinion.
wait. Why would you name a willow tree Douglas Fir, which is clearly a fir tree?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
that makes sense. It's like naming him like Maxwell Elm. Or like,
Yeah, but Maxwell Elm if the tree was a pine tree.
yeah.
I have bad news. Dominator is not going to make a determination. They say Willow is a name that can go either
That's
way.
true.
Okay, but that is
That
tradition.
means nothing. Dominator, I'm done with you.
Dominator,
In-
she
in
has
the
turned on
popular
you.
concept-
Turn on
Just because
her.
Willow is a name, it doesn't put a gender on it. It doesn't mean it thinks. Like, I could have a pet rock named Willow.
Yeah.
You
I have
could,
a
but
pet,
would you?
Smith named
I
Willow.
would.
I think Dominator's on your side, though. I think that's
Lies.
what they're saying. It's like,
Oh, in
It's a-
that case, I retract it.
Yeah.
Dominator.
No, Dominator, she turned on
I
you at the
support you
drop of a
forever.
hat.
You burnt all the bridges with Dominator.
Everyone,
Voter out of the
wait. Stop. Everyone. Could we get a cheers?
Cheers.
Poppy,
Cheers.
hold up your fucking drink. All
Okay.
right.
If we're posting this to YouTube, none of this is alcohol. These are all non-alcoholic drinks.
It's
Yeah,
literally
they are.
just
Just
cocaine in a
coffee.
cup.
This is just
entirely.
Just coffee
Does-
in a cup.
Does everybody not drink iced tea this way?
I agree.
non-alcohol.
Honestly, if we post this to YouTube, there's a lot of other disqualifying stuff.
I'm not even talking about monetization. I'm just
Way
talking
back.
about- I'm just talking about user guidelines. In
No,
general.
actually, did you guys see the changes in the profanity use?
I think they made it easier on you, didn't they? It's like
They did,
hell,
actually,
damn and
yeah.
hell aren't bad things.
Now
anymore.
it's encouraged. If you don't call at least 3 people a motherfucker, your YouTube video gets yanked off.
It's true. Now, Travis,
I heard
who are the 3 here?
You're a motherfucker, and G Trip is a motherfucker.
You can
Yeah,
actually
that's 2.
you
need
can
one
say
more.
fuck.
It's true.
You can say fuck on YouTube as long as it's not within the first 8 seconds.
Me,
You can even monetize it. Still.
Poppy.
I think they've actually changed that, Jordan, with new change.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
I believe so, man. I was reading it on.
Have you ever actually counted
watch
out
that.
like
Decorator.
9 seconds and then you're just like, fuck you guys?
Well,
All right.
that's what I do every time I start a
wait.
new conversation.
Stop.
There was somebody. All right. Go ahead.
Poppy's turn.
I said a willow tree. You all never decided if that's kosher, but I think it is.
Dominator said it's okay,
Agreed.
so I think it's okay, and I agree it's okay.
Yeah,
That's-
I'll give her that one.
That's
And then
3
wait,
against.
no, what was the disqualifier? So no more trees?
no more trees.
Trees.
Okay.
And a tree is an animate object, apparently.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it is.
The
No, I
leaves
don't-
are blowing.
Wait.
Animate,
Didn't
'cause
say?
it's living.
Didn't somebody say nothing living?
No, I said nothing that
No.
can
No, no,
think,
no.
but if we find out in like
That's true.
80 or 90 years that like plants, fucking daydream, I'm coming back to this and I'm
Okay.
saying that you were disqualified
Revisit it.
early on.
No sleepover
All right.
2073. We're coming back.
Gonna be a lot of
I'm gonna go
catheters there.
All right, so whose turn is it? I know it's not mine.
No, it's my turn. It's my turn. But I'm having trouble.
I can see why.
Can you?
We're all in the box here.
Fucking dominators here, just loving this shit. All right, so
Before you go, I think that Dominator, you should be on the next one that we do, the next live stream. I don't care if you're involved with Reddit or No Sleep, like you've earned your spot here.
So I think that Dominator is clearly an alt of Malia Girl.
I mean, she does have alts. We know that for a fact. So
We do. I'm not going to say them.
And she does
No one
dominate.
else is either.
I
But
wish I
did
knew what
not
they
know
were
that.
because I don't.
I'm surprised.
I know of one.
I do know one of
it's
Malia's
a
alts.
taster for all of you watching right now. When we have Malia Girl on, she may reveal her alts. You could see. All right, I'm gonna go with how
Stop looking at the list. You're trying to now you're cheating.
We don't have the list. How can you
You're
get to
not
the list?
living up to the duty and the responsibility placed on
to
you.
be fair, this is the list.
That's true.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had a stroke.
Look at the handwriting.
during
Look at
this entire.
That's worse. That's almost worse than some doctors in the hospital I work at.
That's honestly the worst thing I've ever seen.
I just want to bring to everybody's attention that we've been playing this game for almost 50 minutes.
All right, so
That's been an hour.
Wait, do we have a 40-minute
Fine.
limit, or we have like a
No, I ended up
I'll
paying
go
for the
for-
account.
I'll go for Jason Voorhees.
That is definitely a guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
And also an actor and an activist and probably Protestant. So
And he can think.
yeah.
Fine.
Wow, you like negative 18 striked yourself.
Deco gets disqualified apparently because Jason Voorhees is not a woman, according to Travis Brown.
Don't put that on me because this weird shit's gonna come up in like 20 years and they're gonna be like, let's play that Zoom conversation.
So whenever Travis Brown is running for Senate or whatever, Jason Voorhees, the hockey mask wearing female, is not woman enough for Travis.
You know, the easy way though, you could have just said his mom because she was the actual villain from the first one.
But she's also a female, which we can't use.
But that was revealed in Scream. I don't like that.
No, it was revealed in the first one at the very end when the mask.
I know, but like it was all right. So anyway,
I just know. Wait. I just wanted on the record that Tom has had enough to drink that he's mad at Scream.
And that you've forgotten the ending of Friday the 13th Part 1, which, in my opinion,
Here's to you.
Over that bottle of iced tea for the YouTube censors, please.
that looks like a very expensive bottle of iced tea. Actually.
That's just reserved oak,
So that's,
ladies and gentlemen.
That's where Deco's at right now.
So Deco, wait. What's
he's
the
going for
verdict? What's the
fucking
verdict
more.
on the double oak, man? Yes, no, maybe.
What's the verdict on the double oak? It's great. What are you talking
Is
about?
Ryan, is that a bourbon?
I
It is
love
indeed.
the question. What is the verdict on this bourbon that you're
Hey,
drinking? Look at this. Do you see this?
That is a very dark half glass of bourbon.
How many fingers is this right now? Okay, that's 3-ish.
Yeah, that's 3 plus executive parking right there. That's a very
All right, so
solid.
right now, let me clarify. Jordan, me, Deco, Ryan are all out. Right now, it is just Poppy and Travis.
It is.
Looks, I have a cat on my head.
Which
We're looking at the purveyor of 3:03 in the morning, which is
Poppy. And Poppy,
not
honestly,
right now.
I think this is all.
I don't know. I would say that's a pretty overrated story. I don't know if what I
Okay.
was thinking when I wrote it.
Okay, I'm so
I
excited.
agree. I agree.
So excited.
So
I think my best one was Maria on the Moon.
3:03
Yeah,
in the
it
morning,
really
Flash
was.
Maria on the Moon versus Poppy. Gentlemen drink bourbon at sex temperature. Let's go. Travis, what do you have next?
I'm pretty sure it's Poppy's turn, right? Because she hasn't picked one.
No, it's
You just no, yes, it
turn.
is because you just got disqualified, and
I
after
But
got
I'm before
disqualified.
Deco.
Ryan is disqualified. Ryan was next after me, and then it's you, Travis, after Ryan.
Ooh, okay, all right. You know what? That's fine. I'm gonna say
Fucking call Mel.
that's fine. It doesn't have to be gendered. It doesn't have to be an activist. It doesn't have to be someone who can even think. My choice for this round is Hope.
Hope?
The concept
That
of
makes me
hope.
really mad because I have a tattoo that says hope and I don't want to agree with you.
Ooh, I just Sandman some shit. So yes, go
All
ahead.
right. So wait. You're going for the character of Hope
I'm going for the concept of hope.
as a character.
We've really got
Or either. So try to gender it, try to fit it into any of those boxes. My answer is hope.
How
But
do
would
you-
it be an
how-
inanimate
wait.
object then?
How do you argue that Hope is
Yes,
not
I'll
an
be right
object?
back.
Yeah.
First of all, definitely not an object. Oh, now we have technical difficulties in RC Major.
That's not your problem right now, Ryan. Your problem is arguing that hope is not inanimate.
Yeah, no, look, I'm leaving this up to our one stream watcher, Dominator. Hardly know her. I think that hope is non-gendered. It is not inanimate. It is definitely living. It infuses everything in the universe. It transcends any attempts to label it as actors, actresses, activists. Hope is just a concept that beats every little weird wall we built around it. So that is my argument. You all may vote, but obviously Dominator is the one who makes the final call.
I think
What
it's,
I will
I think it's
say,
okay.
Dominator. What?
what I
That
will say is,
is
sorry,
my-
go ahead.
No, give all right, let Poppy go.
Okay.
I think,
What I will say is, doesn't this now put us in, I'm not negating your choice, but then what if I'm just like, let's choose the concept of fate? Like, can't we just circle jerk that forever?
yes, we literally circle jerk that until the
Until
sun
it
goes
disintegrates.
supernova, Poppy.
What's your
then-
qualifier, Travis?
Oh, what's my qualifier? If I get approved by Dominator for using the concept of hope, no more
Yeah.
concepts.
No more concept.
No.
Okay.
They think concepts is a legitimate one, so no more concepts.
I do.
So they
Okay,
agree.
I'll agree to these terms.
All right, so no more concepts.
Actually,
Carla.
wait, that makes me nervous that Rebecca was like, I'll agree to these terms really quick. Hold on.
I
Let's
have
review
one
what
in the
we're doing.
bank.
All right.
I don't
so-
have multiple.
She at
So-
this point, she's just like rolling up her sleeve. She's like, motherfucker.
So, we've got no more concepts for Travis. Jordan,
As a leprechaun, I'm not sure.
Jordan,
What's your-
Jordan,
Yes.
that cat. Pet that cat. Do it.
It's further away than it looks.
Oh.
I don't fucking
No.
care, man. Do it.
Real talk. All right, real talk. Tom, Jordan, what is it like being that fucking tall? Like, is it uncomfortable that both of you are over 6'5"? Like, what do you guys do? How the fuck do you run on airplanes?
So, all right. So my main concerns about being tall is that, one, in a photo, if it's a photo of me, there's a person right here,
right?
okay, I have to do this a little bit. That's the main thing. All right. The second thing is, on an airplane, I have to have my knees up a little bit. Just a bit. It's like sitting on the bus when you're 14 years old and you're just feeling shitty about life.
We can't own sports cars either. I mean,
Did
let's
we
face
figure
it.
out? All right. So, which one of you is taller? Is it?
I think you said you're 6'6", right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like 6'5". The doctor, when I got measured at the doctor, they said I was
Jesus.
6'5".
Stand up.
Honestly, both of you are
All right, all right.
disgustingly
Back to
tall.
back to back
I'm ready.
back to back.
Wait,
Come
all
on.
right. So, cat for
Flip
scale.
around, flip around.
obviously.
Come on, back to back.
And Ryan, what are you? Ryan, you're like what?
There we
6'1"?
go.
6'2".
I think you
Okay.
got. I think you got me.
Okay. I'm sitting here at a normal human height of 5'10".
And
I'm
that is
5'4",
normal.
so I have nothing to throw in here.
She is a fun-sized human, ladies and gentlemen.
The worst part about being tall for me is the times when I've hit my head in the basement. In
Oh
basements
no!
mostly.
It must be so difficult, literally
Jordan,
running
I'm
Tinder.
in the
That like
basement
3
right
times.
now.
What's that?
I said I'm in the basement right now.
Doesn't it feel like you're in a really small space? Like it feels like really tight, right? Like you're closed in because it's so the ceiling's so low,
Yes.
right? No, when I was a cable technician once, I stood up really fast in the basement and it was a low ceiling and there was a rusty nail. And I just right on the rusty nail.
Oh.
Ran the rusty nail.
Dude.
It was a great excuse to get out of work for the rest of the
All
day.
right, so this is a normal number 2 pencil.
All right, pencil for scale.
That's how long it was. Like, and it went all the way through my skull into my brain.
Right.
Ooh.
That's
I
that's
don't
like
like that.
a hand.
Not really. Yeah, it was probably about that. It was actually a pretty long nail, but it just grazed
Yeah.
me. It was a lot of blood, but that's because it's a scalp wound, so there's a lot of blood.
I know I do have a I was renovating one of our bathrooms and we had the shower head ready to go on, but we left the actual tube capped in there before we put the shower head on. And I stood up on a step ladder to paint the ceiling, and the entire like shower head pipe just popped me right in the skull. Which luckily, didn't get through the bone, but like you said, scalp wounds are insane. It was just like a Braveheart blood mask, just
A cavalcade
everywhere.
of blood. All right, so wait. In our game,
Mm.
all right, the ones who lost unequivocally were Jordan,
Yes.
He just wants
Jordan
to
again.
drive the point home.
I mean, because he's Canadian.
Don't forget you lost as well.
Jordan,
I'm pretty confident it's everybody except for
I'm-
Poppy and I.
I'm getting to me in a second, all right?
Yes, I lost first and worst.
I want everyone to recognize Jordan's parquet floors and his cat, which is judgmentally looking away right now. Look at that cat. Look
The
at
world's
it.
smallest cat.
That's honestly fair. That
I have
cat
a smaller
time
cat
for you.
right next to me, but I don't want to bug her.
So,
Okay.
Jordan, Deco, that's me, lost technically, I think. Ryan lost I don't think anyone could argue that Ryan lost. Travis lost by one strike. One strike. Poppy has 0. Do you see Travis's house of 101
I do.
behind him? Poster on his wall.
How's it
Poppy,
going?
how many posters of stories you've written do you have on your wall?
None, but I have an entire bookshelf of books I've edited. So
Okay, well, that was supposed to be a lean for Poppy, but that's actually a
it still
tie
counts.
for Travis and Poppy. All right, wait. So, Poppy and Travis, you have to do a lightning round.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we do? Are we starting over with a new one
No,
for the lightning
Jordan,
round?
you, me, and Ryan are choosing a thing for them to win on.
Oh, that's good. All right. So pick
A
the
hill
category.
for them to die on.
Pick one category, and then we can all name things in that category.
Is it the same rules? You're eliminating.
I already have 2 in the bank for this one, so I was ready to go.
I had
you
like
got the
15 in the
advantage.
bank, Poppy. I don't know.
All right, so my thing is sexiest boy, but I don't know if that's the category.
Wait, no, so they have to name the sexiest boy or they cannot?
Sexiest
That's
boy,
a little
yeah.
subjective.
That's not fair because I'm going to keep
I
saying
know it's
Jordan.
subjective.
Like that's not
Fuck
okay.
you guys.
See, and I would say Deco. Look at that suit.
Eh,
Why don't
I'm
we
more
do?
of a Jordan man.
Why don't we do a new
Got it.
game?
Look at
Why don't-
Ryan in the beard.
Why don't we say
I'm
Poppy
sorry,
won?
Jordan. You're also beautiful. You're all beautiful. You're all wonderful people.
Why don't we say
Why
Very
don't
Poppy
we
won
attractive
this?
people.
Why don't we say
One
Poppy won
interesting
this? And
category.
we do Family Feud, like a game of Family Feud again.
All right,
we
fine.
did,
All
you
right,
want to do that?
Poppy wins. Do we have a thing that we can put on Poppy's head?
Travis, it's okay. You're a winner in my heart.
Yeah, I'll take it. I just love that
How
Deco's
dare
like,
you,
we're doing a
Ryan.
lightning round, and then Deco goes. Poppy
I think an hour and 5 minutes of that
That's
game
the
is
lightning round.
enough.
He announces the winner.
So I'm trying to think, what's a good topic for like a horror topic that we could do, like highest highest selling Stephen King books or highest grossing. I think we did highest grossing horror film
We
last
did
time.
highest grossing. I
Yeah.
think you just did top 10 films of all time last time.
Here's my
Uh,
suggestion, gentlemen and ladies.
Let's do top selling Stephen King or top selling horror novel of all time.
I would say, what is the best zombie movie of all time and why?
But could you say that again, Travis? You broke up on my end,
Yes,
buddy.
absolutely, Ryan, my good friend. What is the best zombie movie of all time and why?
Okay, well, pick who goes first, man.
Are we doing? Do you want to do like Family Feud rules still, or just like like discussion type thing?
I think we're just discussing.
Just discussing. All right.
I'm open to it, Jordan. You pick. Like I
Either way.
don't know what Family Feud rules are. I don't know if we have to pick families.
It's just like so.
But we will feud.
You get like the top 10 highest grossing
Oh, well, that's the thing.
horror
Like,
books of all time, and you try to guess. Each
I
person tries
think
to
we
guess.
should. I think we should do that if we ever have more than 10 people watch the stream and just let them. Like
Okay.
for polls, do it. But for now, I would just say overall discussion. And I'm
All right,
going
that's
to
cool.
say, let's start with you. What is the best zombie movie ever and why?
I really like Shaun of the Dead was really good. That was great. What was the other one? Hot Fuzz.
No, just one, man. Come on.
No, I think I might have to.
Oh,
say
wait.
Hot Fuzz.
I say Hot Fuzz is a great police movie. Not that many zombies.
Isn't that the zombie one?
No,
No,
that's
it's
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead. That's what I'm thinking of.
Which you said immediately.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. Okay, Shaun of the Dead.
You're the guy who got the answer right on the test, and then he
I was-
scribbled it out, and you're like,
I was
"Ah."
thinking that was the sequel for some reason. There's a sequel to Shaun of the Dead, right?
No, there's not, but I think Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and what Tavern at the End of the World. Or
Oh, yeah, no. It's
That's
for the
right.
Cornelio whatever
Yes.
trilogy. Yes.
Cornetto.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, there's so many good ones, but yeah, I'll just go with Shaun of the Dead.
And
Good
why?
choice.
Is
Oh, I don't know. I like a good I just like the comedy aspect of it. Like, I don't know, it's just a really funny classic movie, and I don't know. I like something that's scary, but also has some humor to it. It's been a while since I've seen it, so it's hard to pin down any specifics. It's a terrible answer. I'm sorry.
man. All right, acceptable. Let's go with Deco. What is your choice for best zombie movie and why?
I feel like the most affected I've been with the zombie movie was 28 Days Later. Because it's the only zombie movie that I've seen that has included the subtopic of sexual assault as a horror theme, which is terrifying.
What was your answer?
28 days later.
20 years later.
What?
Yes. and
28 days. 28 days later.
Oh, 28 Days Later. Yes, that
Yes.
was a
So
great
it
movie.
Lots
starts-
of reasons.
right, so
definitely.
it starts with Cillian Murphy, afraid, alone, which is great, and then venturing toward other people, which is fine, and then losing people, which is great. Brendan Gleeson dying.
Mhm.
Was a fine moment in the movie, and then Christopher Eccleston being such a fuck. That's Doctor Who.
That is
The
That's one of
worst
Doctor Who's.
person in that movie was just and then that moment where I don't know her name, but the actress.
Yeah,
What's that?
it was. Oh my god,
Naomi Harris.
for the first 28
Imogen
weeks,
Pooh?
28 days later.
Naomi Harris.
I'll say Naomi Harris. Talking to little white girl who has some other name.
No, that's
would hope
actually
so.
correct.
That was
She
actually
was
that's her
little
legal
white
name.
girl.
That's little
Yeah.
white girl.
Character
Well, no.
and
There
legal.
was like there was a strong black girl and then talking to a little white girl. That's the movie to me. If you guys don't know it,
It's a great movie. You've definitely picked a good one.
Yeah, you actually took my choice, so I've had to come up with another one.
I'm
So-
impressed that you said Killian Murphy's name correctly instead of saying Cillian Murphy, which is what everyone I've ever talked to said.
he's not selling, he's killing.
I know that's great. You fucking nailed it.
It's true. And if you want to
So-
see another good
Look.
Cillian Murphy and Danny Boyle movie, Sunshine.
Cillian
is
Murphy.
Fantastic.
Trying to
Which one?
Sunshine.
Sunshine?
And or oh god, fucking Sunshine is so good.
I think we
Oh, I
should just
love
put it out there
it.
for Dominator 619 or any other people who are
Yeah,
watching
hey,
this.
Dominator
What are your
619,
favorite zombie movies?
Thank you.
If you're watching this right now, yeah, what are your favorite zombie movies?
Or if you're watching on YouTube and if you want to respond in the comments, that's cool. too.
Also, all right, so you know what
what are your
sucks for
favorite Danny Boyle movies or whatever?
yeah, Danny Boyle's he's a Boyle. Sunshine. The fact that fucking Chris Evans, Captain America, plays that dickish guy, but he was always right. Like in every part of the story, he's like, we have to like do this awful thing to ensure that the mission succeeds. He was right every time. And then at the end of it, he literally just like killed himself to try to save the mission. Chris Evans is wildly underrated as an actor because he was
He's very
so good in that.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, but also, 28 days later, amazing choice.
all right. Travis, who's up next on
I-
zombies?
I'm afraid, Ryan, because I feel like you might steal mine because I think we have a similar.
Oh, I doubted it. Mine is kind of esoteric now since I can't use 28 days later.
All right. Can you use 28 days later? And then, wait, Jordan, which one did you say? Shaun of the
I
Dead?
said Shaun of the Dead. I have a different answer too now, though.
Well, no. All right, so
I was
what
first,
we're
I
gonna
didn't
do is we're gonna go Rebecca, then Ryan, then me. So Rebecca, what is your choice for the best zombie movie ever and why?
I'm gonna go Zombieland for the Bill Murray scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great movie.
I don't think it's the best one. I was also gonna do the 28 day. I was gonna go with the first one though, but I'm gonna go Zombieland.
Wait. I have a question.
Okay.
Hands up. Does anyone agree
Yeah.
that anything else other than 28 days later is a more scary zombie movie?
There's
Does anybody agree that there are scarier movies than 28 days later?
No,
There
well,
are
scary
That one's terrible.
zombie movies. Yes.
Right. Now, I do think there are scarier zombie movies than 28.
Actually,
days
I agree too. I don't think that one's that. It's not that bad.
But I think it also, is going to qualify on what it is that horrifies you.
there's a couple people in the chat actually. Stigs 22 says Train to Busan,
Yes.
and then
Wait.
Warm Bodies. Dominator 619
Well,
says
Warm Bodies. is-
bravely done and unique spin.
Jordan,
Warm
we don't
Bodies
actually
is-
have
I should've
people
said
in
that.
the
I have a
chat.
copy
There-
of the
No, there's no way.
No, fuck you, Travis. Look,
Oh, Gravy.
Oh,
Gravy is
don't say
here.
there's no way. All right, One Body says it's fine. It's a romantic comedy for us.
I will
that a
say,
new one?
Train to Busan is amazing.
I think I've seen Warm Bodies, but I can't remember now. Like, is that a newer one? Like in the last couple of years?
It is. It's actually a teenage love movie.
feel like I've seen
2015,
that.
2016.
Romantic
It was the
comedy.
guy who played Beast, and he was in the recent movie The Menu. Nick Holt.
Yeah, Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. The menu was actually pretty good. Like, it wasn't
Menu was good.
Menu was
mind blowing.
Or he was in
Great.
Skins, if you guys are.
Yeah, I do remember Skins.
Fucking-
Him and the guy from Get Out were in Skins.
Yeah.
The guy from Get Out
It's
was
about a
Skins.
boy as well.
The guy from Get Out was in Black Mirror, a bunch
Black
of stuff
Mirror,
too, I think,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I can't remember his
Yes.
name, but he's really good.
Daniel
What is it,
Kaluuya.
15 million
Yeah, he's
merits?
great.
All right, so
Oh, we got one more. Oh, Human Gravy's in the chat.
What up,
Yes.
baby?
Human
Gravy,
Gravy
good to
says,
see you, man.
Human Gravy says
Give
The
it to us.
Sadness and Evil Dead remake.
Ooh.
That is a good-
Gorefest. So The Sadness, he
Oh.
says, scariest, most violent zombie movie ever. And Evil Dead remake, Gorefest. I'm trying to think, what was the one with the mall? Was that Dawn of the Dead? That one was great
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Come on.
Sorry, I don't. Oh, sorry. Shit. Sorry.
all right,
Oh,
so
I'm sorry, Travis.
Between you and Gravy, it was either
Evil-
honestly going to
Evil
be
Dead.
okay.
No, Evil Dead was it was a triumph of disgust.
Well, there were many Evil Dead. There was 1, 2.
You can still say
Army
Dawn of the
Darkness.
Dead. I already said
I'm
my
talking about the
answer.
first
You
one
can
with
explain
Bruce
why
Campbell.
it's so great.
You're not the
Right.
first Evil Dead. Which, all right, that's a bold. I actually appreciate that choice.
Yes.
Because that is a great movie, but it is very much overlooked because Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness are just like fucking.
Okay. Talk about that. I gotta pee.
I still can't get over the suit.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
for stealing your
it's
answer,
snazzy.
Travis.
You did. All right, because I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
so the original Dawn of the Dead from I want to say like 1978, 1970. It was good. I really like Zack Snyder cut. That is Dawn of the Dead, like 2004.
2004. You actually got
Yes.
both dates right. 78
Yes.
and 2004. Good job.
With Ving Rhames and all those other motherfuckers who aren't Ving Rhames. That is
Actually
such.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's such a good movie because it is a reflection on capitalism, but is also a very prime, like, if the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow, fucking raid the mall. Like, how much cool shit is in there?
Oh my god, yeah, that's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about Evil Dead. I saw twice Evil Dead the musical live. It came to Toronto, and
That's-
so there's like a splash zone, and they the first couple rows you're guaranteed to get just covered in blood, in fake blood if you go. And they just have like chainsaws ripping people. It's so good. Like, it's really well.
That's
It was
very
so good. I had to go see it again with my wife because it was so fucking good.
All right, so Jordan, out of all of the Evil Dead movies, including Army of Darkness, reboots, HBO series, what is your favorite Evil Dead property?
Oh, I think the original was so good. Like, I mean, the original was great. The Army of Darkness was also great. The reboot, like the recent series that they did was actually really good too. I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite. I feel like the original should just take it just because it's the original, and it's just, you know, like the whole like musical was all based on the original, and they had the whole set was coming to life, and like, I don't know, it's just so well done. It just makes me love it even more. So I'm gonna go for the original.
It's tough, and like Sam Raimi just fucking killed it. Like everything with that. I
Yeah.
do think the original isn't as good as Evil Dead 2 because Evil Dead 2 is basically just like a reboot of the continuity of the first one. But people sleep on the movie from like 2014 or 2015. I thought that thing was fucking amazing. Like,
I don't
the
remember
Evil
that one
Dead
that
reboot.
much.
Yeah. Like the nail gun. Like they were just like blasting that guy into the wall.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one and the second one. So I don't know. I feel like I've seen the ones I've seen more recently stand out, like is it Army of Darkness and the original I've seen more recently, so they just
Yeah.
kind of stand out. in
Army
my
of
mind.
Darkness is we're a medieval fucking necromancy tale now, and it's a good one. But just the whole cabin, like you'll be dead by dawn. Like, that is such a classic.
Yeah.
Evil
It's
Dead.
great. Did we get everybody's answer for the best zombie movie? Who didn't get a chance yet? Oh,
Ryan.
go
All right,
for it.
good, good.
Yeah, what's up, D-Bags? Thanks, Travis, for setting the order and skipping me. So I'm going to go ahead and take up a lot of time to make up for this grave insult that's been
I'm
made
excited
towards me.
about
We're going to
that.
talk about this for 45 minutes. We're really not, but there is a movie. Has anybody here seen Here Alone?
I don't think so.
Nobody? Yeah, that's what I
Literally
figured.
nobody.
Here Alone is one of my favorite zombie movies of all times. And the reason why it's such a bleak film, it really concentrates on a woman trying to live in a post-viral outfect society. She is by herself living in a car out by a lake. And I think the beauty of it is a zombie movie. It's clear from the beginning it's a zombie movie, but there are probably zombies in it for 90 seconds or less. And it just shows this kind of desolate, worthless life that people are left to live in this landscape. And in fact, one of the most horrible things is you see she's by herself for most of the movie. And I'm going to spoil kind of the thing that makes it the most horrific movie to me. Once I had kids, it was kind of game over on watching bad things happen to kids in horror movies. And there is a scene where you find out that this woman's daughter survived the initial outbreak. And her daughter ends up becoming infected. And the infection is just from touching the bodies. It's not from a bite, it's not from a scratch. It's just these things can touch you and you're infected. And so one of the zombies end up touching her daughter, and she sees she's showing the telltale signs of the infection. And so it's just the most horrible scene I've ever seen in any movie. She knows her daughter is going to die. And so she gets a can of condensed milk and warms it up on the fire and crushes up an entire bottle of aspirin and puts it in the milk and then feeds it to her daughter because she knows she's going to be infected. And it's just absolutely harrowing to watch this a mother at her wit's end kill her own kid to save her from this. And so I think Here Alone is one of the best zombie movies I've seen.
I gotta watch that. I haven't
That
seen
does sound really good.
I was gonna say, you reminded me of I Am Legend, the one with Will Smith that was based on
Yeah.
a great book. I
Richard
can't remember.
Matheson.
Jim, was it Jim Matheson?
No, Richard Matheson.
Richard Matheson. Yeah, I've read
Yeah.
the book as well, and Stephen King cites that as a huge influence on him. And I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Can't recommend enough the book
good.
too. It's so good. There's another one too. World War Z is also really good. With Brad
Loved the
Pitt.
book. The movie was good, but the book was fantastic.
The book for sure. Yeah, and How to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse. Another great.
Yes,
Zombie
zombie
Never
survival
copied that.
guide.
Yeah, zombie survival guide. Yeah.
Yeah, Max Brooks is a hell of an author.
Yeah.
Travis, you got anything else for us?
Were we gonna discuss no sleep stuff at any point?
That we can. I
Yeah,
mean, no, that
I'm just
Poppy-
asking.
welcome
right,
to the
all right,
show
so
where we
since
talk
Poppy
about
brought it
whatever
up.
we want.
We
Poppy.
don't have to. I was just wondering. It's you guys' playhouse. I'm just here.
No, you've clearly won every game we played at this point. I concede. Poppy, what are the rules? All right, if you could change one rule in no sleep, what would you change?
Okay. I would change more than one, but
All right, okay. So Poppy, every rule that you would change.
list every single rule and what adjustments you would make.
We'll say overall, what would you change about no sleep?
I shouldn't have brought up no sleep because now I'm on the spot for it.
You really jumped into this.
I
one.
really should. I shot myself in the foot here. Okay. I think overall we haven't had many giant rule changes over the last few years, and the few that we have been a little bit loosening of rules. Like you can do like things like before there was the no body, no postie rule. So you had to have a physical corporeal body to post something. And now it's a little bit looser on that. but I would say I think we're still a little bit strict on the plausibility. I think it's a little bit much to, and then I sat down on my computer with my Wi-Fi to talk about all this and describe it. And obviously you don't have to be that blatant. There's a ton of loopholes and there's ways around it, but it is something that in more stories than not, you have to still put a focus on. And then personally, I do wish that it was a little bit more lax on external sources of horror. Since I know we've talked privately, like this chat, about different stories that may or may not be allowed currently that were previously. And though we've disagreed on some of the ones that would and wouldn't, I think there's some, like, I personally don't think autopilot would be allowed anymore. And I think that that one was a really seminal piece for a lot of people and really influential. And one of my favorites, Gigi the Coffee Girl, it's just about depression. It's just bleak and it's horrific. And there is a death in it, there is horror, but it's fully based on depression and it's too tragic. And it wouldn't be allowed now. So I wish that things would shift back a little in the opposite direction for those.
Here's my list of amazing no sleep stories. I don't think that would be allowed anymore. Autopilot, definitely a big one. I don't think Baraska would. I think that the source of the horror in different parts, and you know what? I might be wrong. I'm not a mod. I think that I could be qualified as a mod, and I would actually love to be a no sleep mod. I don't know how I can weasel my way in there, but I do think I have the background history check for it, and I'm willing to take a polygraph. So whatever I need to do for that. I think that Baraska, maybe left right game, just because it's one of those things where like not every part was full of horror. Like parts 2 and 4 specifically might not hit that drift. Spire in the Woods, I do not think would be okay. Also
Life.
Tommy Taffy, which is, and again, this is not any knock on no sleep moderation, because they've been very clear that rules change over time, things change. I'm just saying that there are these classic examples of like amazing stories that are universally loved that just wouldn't fit anymore. They would not be accepted, which is
They
tough.
still fit the vibe of no sleep though too, right? Like they still feel very no sleep.
I think they fit the vibe. I think most of the ones I just mentioned, like Tommy Taffy's gonna get ripped for a rule violation. There's no way. No one's gonna convince me that like you could sell that horrific, and it's terrifying. It is a scary story. Elias Witherrow is a insanely talented writer, but he's also a sick motherfucker. And like that stuff, and the pig story, like they're all probably getting removed by moderators at this point, I would say. So it's tough. It's very difficult. And then at the end of the day, I used to be so much more antagonistic towards no sleep moderators. Like, what gives you the right to remove these stories? But also, you guys are working for free. And having moderated the compendium and other stuff, it's fucking Reddit. Like, it is a very basic, this is a good place to put stories. This is a good area to get started, get some feedback, get some followers. But it is supposed to be, a ramp, not a cul-de-sac. So you really got to move on past that. I do think it'd be interesting to see no sleep rules getting revised. I think it'd be amazing to see a overhaul and just see where we get for the next couple of years. But I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I do think some of those stories, like we've talked about before, I think the biggest issue that you're referring to is that all of those ones you listed are series. And I think, well, I guess Third Parent is standalone, even though it was part of a series.
Yeah.
With the exception of Tommy Taffy, I do think all of those ones we've agreed as concepts would still float, but I think the minutia of it is just the rules they would run afoul of is each part individually would have to contain the appropriate amount of horror and not be excessive with different focuses of horror that are considered inappropriate.
Well,
So I
and
think-
actually, oh, sorry, Poppy. Sorry, I thought you were done. Please go.
No, go ahead.
No, please go on. I really thought you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
I need to learn how to be Deco and do dramatic pauses that everyone just leans in and listens during.
Say Deco's been gone for a minute now.
I know.
He
We
drank a lot of
swear, as
iced
soon as we
tea,
brought up
though.
no sleep, he was like, I'm out. I'm not.
He drank a lot of iced tea. He had to go to the bathroom.
Which, by the way,
bit.
like Poppy, I think that Deco's flair might be one of those like causes trouble kind of guys. So I don't know.
I don't know. I can neither, like Dominator said, I can neither confirm nor deny.
I'm getting out of Poppy's way. Please continue.
But some of them, like Baraska, I do think there's other focuses of horror, but I'll be honest, I haven't reread any of these ones super recently. So like, I love how you're able to say like part 2 and 4 of Left Right Game. And I'm like, I don't know. I remember the story. I know what, like if you cite an event from it, I recall that it occurred, but I could not tell you what specifically happens in which ones other than some are earlier, some are later. So I might be inaccurate on this, but I think overall, I think there would be tweaks that need to be made. I do think that. I don't think any of them would be completely just refused to be allowed on the sub. Tommy Taffy, I think, would need the most adjustment. And
It's gotten more strict in like the last 6 months, just as a general, like for everybody, like just in the last, I don't know, I just feel like I've gotten a lot more removed in the last 6 months than I ever did before.
And
I don't know
I'm
why that is.
actually, Jordan, I'm going to take a counterpoint on that because I think they've been a lot looser from when I started, which
Interesting.
was like 4 years ago. I actually 100% agree with Poppy. I think that or Rebecca.
either one is fine.
Yeah, no, it's difficult, and I don't know. When I first started, at the end of the day, I've only ever had 3 stories removed, and 1 was put back with no changes because the moderation team had a vote on it. So I get very annoyed at some of the no sleep rules, but I also find them like not insanely difficult to navigate.
Yeah.
And they're really not.
I feel like I had them under, like I had figured them out, and then like 6 months ago or so, like all of a sudden I've had like 10, I don't know, like I'm making up a number here, but it's probably like between 6 and 10 stories removed in that amount of time. And it's like, I thought I had this figured out.
And it's tough. And I think the main one that everyone falls afoul of and that maybe should be reevaluated is like how much of the story is a horror story, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is more tragedy than horror, or oh, this is, more sad than scary. That's such a judgment call. And I don't think that's a good place for anyone who's enforcing rules to be looking at, especially because there's really no qualifications for no sleep moderation. And that's somewhere I think I've been a dick before, but I'm going to continue with it. It's just like, if you guys are the ones who are removing these stories and we keep seeing that no sleep stories lead to paid opportunities, whether it's with podcasts or narrators, or every 3 months we see someone being picked up by no sleep, like we should, as a community, not want to remove stories, whether they do well, upvote wise, and they get up there, or they don't, is fine. I think that the removal should be very targeted, whether someone's completely disregarding rules. If it's one of those things where it's like, I can't tell if this is a horror story or it's super sad, err on the side of leaving it alone.
I don't know. How many like removals a day would you ballpark guess there are, Poppy, or you're like allowed to say that?
I think I'm as long as I'm not like, and this person.
We really hate Jordan stuff.
Let me
Fuck him in
unravel my
particular.
scroll. It's just been you that's been removed, Jordan. You're the only one for the last 6 months.
I knew it.
But it does change like every couple weeks.
Well, and what I'll say in terms of that and uneven moderating, the mod team has undergone a lot of different shifts, and there's been times over the last few years where we had hardly any. We had like 10 moderators on the lit. Maybe that might be a slight exaggeration, but there was not very many, and fewer than that amount were active.
That's
And then there's
scary.
times where, like, currently we do have a lot of people who've been there a year or less, and they are very active and they're great. They're doing all of this awesome work. But then sometimes there are the occasional erroneous removal or something, and something gets overturned, which happens with veteran mods too. It happens all the time. There's different interpretations of things, and modding will always be subjective. But I think anytime when people start seeing there's an uptick in removals, it's because there's an uptick in moderation overall. So it's not that we're being stricter, it's that there's more people to actually enforce the rules. Like, same, you're more likely to get pulled over by a police officer if there's more police officers around. It's
That
not
makes sense.
your driving may be crappy all the time.
Well, and to play into an earlier part of the conversation here, as far as Travis saying he'd love to see an overhaul of the rules, to a limited degree, I would, but I think some things could be more well refined, because he pointed out left-right game overall, if you treat it as one contiguous story, it's a horror story start to finish. Some of the sections that were released were, do you not agree, Travis? You don't think left-right game was a
I
was a
say
horror
left,
story?
right, left, right's tricky. Boraz, and a large part of it is that it's very difficult to retroactively look back at these and be like, well, these stories that are now classics should define, or define what we do with No Sleep. I trust you, Ryan, quite a bit. I think that you and Jordan and Deco, who is I don't know.
I think
He's done. God bless Deco. We miss him.
You're in too
I
much
think
faith.
you guys are doing such amazing work with helping No Sleep kind of like move forward. And I'm honestly gonna like put it out there for Poppy. I've worked with Poppy on No Sleep interviews, and I think that she is just literally the best Reddit mod that has ever existed. Sometimes we get disappointed. We put a story out there and we think this is amazing, this is terrifying, this could be the next fucking Netflix deal, and it doesn't fit rules wise with wherever we post it.
Mhm.
And as writers and people, we just have to accept that. But at the same time, it's difficult because No Sleep is a community. It's really grown beyond moderators and writers and even fans. Like it's a big, living, squirming thing. And I think that's another good reason we should do an in-person, No Sleep over the summer. But at the end of the day, with No Sleep, I would love to see moderation move to a democratic place. And I've said this since I started, where it's just like, hey, let's let the community pick our mods for the next year. But if they don't do that, like, No Sleep is a cul-de-sac. It is a place to put stories, to get followers. It is not where you're selling things. It is.
Well, and Travis, not to cut you off there, and I'm going to finish
go
my
ahead.
thought. I'm going to finish my thought from earlier, and you are right. No Sleep should not be a cul-de-sac. It is sometimes, but it shouldn't be. As far as No Sleep goes, and I don't really know about democratically electing the moderators. I like where your mind is at with that. My concern with that is, and we had this conversation over Discord of you saying the writers shouldn't run No Sleep, and I agree with you, they shouldn't. And I think if you make things democratic, I think you end up with a lot of strong No Sleep voices, whether it's in the main sub or in OOC, who end up becoming these poster kids. And while you're not purporting we should have the authors run No Sleep, I think if you start getting into the democracy of it, you end up with authors running No Sleep, which is inherently a dangerous thing, because that's letting the fox live in the hen house to me. I'm just being honest with you. And I think that if anything benefited us, to speak exactly to what you were talking about, and I'm all the way open for a conversation and a vivacious argument, because you're one of the writers on No Sleep I respect the most. Democratic moderation, I disagree. Democratic voting on rules, and not all of them, but I do think that the community should have some input on rule refinement and what rules look like. I would be very on board with some democracy there. Let's vote on some rule amendments. Let's treat it more like a republic. We're going to govern you, but you're going to give us input. And to that end, you were talking earlier about how some of the classics, when they were a series, some parts of them would have been horror, some parts would not. Uh, and Gravy, I see you there on the democratic voting on
Yeah, I
rules
was
is a
gonna say.
bad idea. No, and I completely respect, like, we can giggle about it, but Gravy, you're a moderator on a very big sub. I respect what you're saying. I disagree with you, but again, I'm not a moderator on one of the biggest subs on Reddit. So, you know what? You have to take what I say with a grain of salt. Uh, but what I would say when we discuss rule refinement, the idea of democracy, if somebody is going to write a series and it's going to be a 7-part series, I think that the rule with series should be a little bit different as far as horror. It doesn't have to be insular, because if I can write a story with 7 entries and 5 out of the 7 are going to be horror stories and 2 of them are going to be very important narrative constructs to continue it, part 1 to part 7 is a single story in my mind. I don't think that means that I get to toss out a bunch of filler parts, but I think if one story out of 7 or 2 is not completely horrifying, as long as the reader reads it and feels completely satisfied with what I've written is moving the story forward, I think parts 1 through 7 are one entity. I don't think that they are 7 separate stories. And so I would be more interested in seeing No Sleep tackle some rules like that. Don't change what you're doing. I'm not asking you to get rid of the horror rule, but if it is part of a continuous story, then why does everything in 7 parts have to be absolutely terrifying at all times? Do I have to remind you in 7 entries that my narrator is still scared because he was scared in part 4? He's still going to be scared in part 7. Things are not going well. And so it's not, I don't think we need to destroy the ship. What we talked about, the ship of Theseus, I don't think we need to replace all the parts, but I think sometimes it's an okay idea to change the mast out when you figure out it is not working as well as it once did. So anyway, that's my soapbox. Thanks for coming to my No Sleep TED Talk. It's been good seeing you.
Ryan.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. After this, Jordan, then I'm not sure if I ever told you, you're the guy, and I very much appreciate it. I think that you are the one who's gonna drag all these new horror writers and new horror writing conventions into the modern era, and you clearly think about it a lot, and you clearly care about these people who are starting, which is just a wonderful thing.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
No, and it is, because you really do. You're like you're the bodyguard of the next generation of internet streaming horror writers. And
Well,
we're
it's-
getting there.
It's dangerous water, man. I think everybody here knows that. Truthfully, I don't feel like our community, while we're doing some really cool things, I feel like it is an easy place to get washed out. And it makes me sad. I love having interpersonal conversations with people in our community. And one of the number one things I hear is this kind of sense of, I have written this story and I've thrown so much love into it. It's been in my mind for 3 years and I wrote it and I felt so good about it. And then I shared it and nobody cared. And it's a devastatingly relatable thing to hear. I can't imagine anybody here does not fully agree that that has happened to you sometimes, because there are some things that I've written. I'm never mad when it's not a hit. That's okay, because my writing advice is always this: write what you want to write. Don't write what you think the reader wants to read, because you're going to write something that's just bullshit. You have to let the reader decide how they feel about it. It's a hard truth to come to, but if there is something that I wrote and I feel passionate about, and I think, man, I delivered this time, and I can't understand why it didn't resonate with people. And the thing of it is, you know what, Jordan, Travis, the three of us can kind of weather those hits, because when we have those bad days, we can go look back at the other 30 top of the day stories, and the accolades and people mentioning us in the OOC is saying, oh, that J group, that Grand Theft Motto, that G Trip, they're swell cats. But you know what? The little guys that are starting out in our community are not getting that. And so they can't rest on those laurels. And if veteran riders, and I'm not a veteran rider, for anybody out there that wants to, champion trips out there doing the Lord's work and no sleep, guys, I have 10 days ago, I think I've been there a year. So I'm not a veteran rider by all terms. I'm still new, but I see a lot of the trips, the pitfalls that suck in those new riders. And what I would like to do, I'm not trying to babysit new kids, but the thing of it is, it's a fun place to be, and it should be a healthy place to be. And we need to get people through those growing pains. And to get them through those growing pains is really going to take people like Travis. I'll throw you directly under the bus, man. The reason that you and I ever made a connection was I beat you once. And it's been a long time ago. I beat you once. I think it was the only time I've ever beat you. And so, of course, I'm having a little celebration party, man. I beat Grand Theft Motto. And then to be the classiest guy in history, Motto reaches out to me and he was like, hey, man, I can't remember exactly what you said, but just saying, good job. Like, you used the phrase, you're eating my lunch. And nothing made me feel better than having an established no sleep rider contacting me, who I'm on maybe story 4 of my no sleep career. And to have one of the biggest notable names that I was aware of still working at the time reach out to me and just say, hey, good job, man. That meant a lot.
I remember when you posted something, Travis, and I saw it as like kind of an up and coming no sleep writer, and it didn't get a lot of upvotes, and it was like a collaboration one. It was that arcade one that you did.
Oh, that was with Grant. That was who's in our server. Grant did.
Okay.
Yes.
So I wasn't part of the Cryptic Compendium or anything yet, but I saw that and I was like, oh, like it didn't get a lot of upvotes, and it was weird. It kind of encouraged me, thinking oh, like even like a huge writer like that, like he writes a great, like I remember reading it and thinking it's great, but being like, it didn't get a lot of upvotes. Like, it made me feel kind of like reassured that, that you can write a good story and it doesn't necessarily have to get a lot of upvotes. It can still be good,
It's true.
In a backwards kind of way,
A Hawaiian shirt put out paper mache, man. And I think it's a damn travesty that story is not brought up in some of the all-time classics.
That is one of those where I think we need to do more stuff with Jesse with a Hawaiian shirt, because that fucking story is fantastic. And a lot of it is just like, it's not just how good your story is, it's how well it fits in the mold, which is difficult. And a lot of it's just like, this is now a digital campfire story, but you can't break these rules, blah, blah, blah. So it's tough. I think everyone here has written something kind of iconic. Ryan, Blanket and Stars, it's so fucking good. Like, I know that you hear that a lot. I'm not trying to, gild the lily, but that is such an amazing story. That is so good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And Jordan, you just crush it. Like everything you put out. I know that you have pretty regular posting story, but you just nail it. You and Bourne Beach, I view as almost like two sides of the same coin. And I know we don't get to talk to him as much. I think he's in the Navy doing some boat shit. But
I love that's the highest compliment, because he's a fantastic writer.
You and Bourne Beach are just both like amazing folklore storytellers, I think.
Well, thank you. You're not to kiss your ass or anything, but I also love everything you write. And I know Hawaiian Shirt was saying your Dark Somnium backroom story was incredible. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I liked it, and I'm trying really hard with Dark Somnium with Ron.
Buddy, as it turns out, you're a liminal space rider.
But I want to real quick get just say to for Poppy, who I feel like we're leaving out of the conversation here a little bit.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That
Poppy, you got to come in swinging.
I was
know.
just thinking.
That's
I
a
was
little
just thinking.
tricky for me, but I'll try. I'll try to body slam you back.
I was just thinking a couple of nights ago how awesome it is that we have moderators like Poppy who keep No Sleep what it is. And I know that you guys get a lot of shit, but you guys honestly keep No Sleep what it is. And it wouldn't, like, who knows what it would become if there wasn't people day to day keeping it true to itself, you know. And like I've seen just on the Cryptic Compendium, you know, in the last couple of weeks, we've had just like random posts, and like usually we don't over moderate Cryptic Compendium too much, but I've gone on there and just like deleted a few things recently, and I felt bad about it, you know, like I don't like deleting people's shit, but it was like, this doesn't fit the subreddit, it's a video, you know, like we want to do stories here, and it's a shitty feeling, and like, you know, nobody wants to do that, and so I just want to like, you know, say thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
It's definitely difficult, and I am so glad, Jordan, that you are clearing a lot of those the mod queues that we get. Because I saw them forever, and I respond to a bunch of them, but it is actually very difficult to like land a thing. Like they'll mass report somebody else, they'll be like, hey, they're stealing from blah blah blah, or it doesn't fit this subreddit. You know, amazing infinite reports. So it is not fun trying to moderate anything on Reddit. And it has made me a lot more sympathetic towards everyone on No Sleep. The one thing that has never changed is that Poppy has Rebecca always been like the fucking coolest. Because I was on the NSI, like the No Sleep interview team, during a time where I was like actively hostile towards a lot of the No Sleep moderators.
I recall.
And you recall. And some of that was completely unfair, and some of that I think was very justified, because there were some No Sleep mods at the time who were probably the worst people on the planet. But not all of them. And I was very aggressive with that. And you were great, and you juggled everything, you balanced everything, and you were just like the most diplomatic, honest, decent person I think I've met through Reddit. And you were killing it. So if we do a No Sleepover, if we do any type of like, let's all meet in Airbnb, you probably need to have a Poppy Award for who is like the most chill at any time, and it'll probably be Poppy.
This is the most activity we've had in the comments yet, by the way. Everybody's, as soon as we started talking about Poppy, HG Gravy's like, Poppy's awesome, by the way. You don't get enough credit.
Rebecca,
Kelly,
literally everybody. I've never met anyone who has said a negative word like you're.
I've met many.
All right, give me their names. I'll fight them. Let's go.
Kelly says,
we
I
need
guess
Dominator to go out there and kill them.
Dominator 619 is still with us. They say Poppy's the best. And HG
No
Gravy
way
says,
is Dominator still with us.
Dominator's still with us.
Dominator's a lifelong fan, guys.
Dominator, you have to join.
HG Gravy's saying, when I modded No Sleep, I got told I should have been aborted.
Oh my gosh.
That's nice.
I was gonna say, like, shout out to Gravy, because like how you guys are saying now, how I'm one of the more like one of the bigger faces of the mods on No Sleep, just because I do interact in the OC. That's what Gravy was to me when I was brand new in the community. He was a No Sleep mod, and I remember making like humble little like, thank you guys for all you do, all of you beautiful writers, all of you beautiful mods, like you're so amazing. And Gravy was one of them at the time, and like him and Tortilla and everybody helped shape the sub into what it is. And I don't think mods get enough credit, but I also don't think the authors get enough credit, and the readers. It's all symbiotic in my mind, and I think every aspect needs each other, but to varying degrees and in different ways. And I mean, we've done like the purge day where we abandoned all the rules except for Reddit terms. And then if anything was repeatedly reported to the point where the automata took it down, then it would stay down, which Didn't always work. Penguin fucker kept coming back. I don't know if you guys know that story, but
Yes.
Yeah,
the
that is a very
author,
good story.
yeah, it
I
kept
heard
being
about that on.
posted
I
over
heard
and
about that on
over and
TJ's
over.
podcast. I think.
Yeah, yeah, he kept posting it like 6 or 7 different times. And every time, like, if the community was just reporting it over and over, so it kept getting removed by the bot. And then he got other authors in on it, and it was really cute seeing like people like Blair Daniels being like the uncut story, like Penguin fucker. And it was just it was funny. I find it funny at the time. I'm sure not all the mods did, but I think we've seen, like, with stuff like the purge, no moderation doesn't work. It's just not going to. The sub's
yeah.
going to become a disaster.
Oh no, it would be a
Yeah.
trash heap.
For sure.
It would be the worst thing. And that's the thing, is I think when people have their stories removed, like one thing you guys all touched on in terms, especially you, Ryan, in terms of new authors getting discouraged, I think those removals hurt. And that's the thing, is when you're brand new, you don't know the rules as well generally. So it's harder to fit within, like everyone says, it's a niche subreddit and it's hard to fit within that mold. And I don't think it's actually that difficult, but if you're not familiar with it, it's going to be
Right.
more than likely.
Well, and the thing, and to play, and I'd love for you to respond to this. I think the thing for new writers that hurts the most with removals is, and I understand it too. I just think new writers don't, is the removers are so impersonal. It's just your story's gone, plausibility, peace.
Yeah.
I would
And-
say the main thing too that drives it home, and I agree with Poppy on everything. Well, literally, Poppy, anything that you say, I'm gonna agree with, because I think that you're right. For it,
Even the fact that I won the mustaches game.
well, that's an iffy win. I'm gonna say that's one area.
Wait, who had a strike? Was it Travis?
Travis had a strike.
I did have a
Okay.
strike.
I'm just joking.
Tom was keeping score, and he's not telling us at
He's
this point.
gone.
I am actually actively worried about Deco this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Kind of same.
we might need to
Yeah,
call the ambulance for
No,
Tom.
I'm actually sending him a message
Okay.
because he appears to be on his computer this time. So I'm hoping the guy has his phone.
Okay.
That
He
is
drank a
an
lot of iced
interesting-
tea.
Interesting
Good.
apartment that he seems to have. With no sleep, I think that it is just such an amazing place to put your first story. And it's funny because in my day job, I had to go record some people who worked at our MJOC, which is the Maryland Joint Operations Center. Most of them are former military or active EMS first responders. And I had to film them, just like, what is your shift usually like? And 2 of them were busy writing. Like, they're like, hey, we're working on short stories. They're based on our time either in the military or blah, blah, blah. And I pointed them in no sleep. I was like, hey, you guys sound like you're writing thrillers. If you have some, maybe supernatural, maybe mundane elements, there's nothing like Reddit. It is just such an amazing experience to put a story out there and get that response. There nowhere online is like that. And that's what I think is going to make No Sleep special forever. And it really is. And that's just one of the reasons why I don't like how restrictive it can be, how much of a cul-de-sac, which I said, but also just like how much of a club. And it depends on who is moderating at the time. And there's so much subjectivity to it. No Sleep reinvigorated my interest in writing. And from there, I've landed so many projects that I will continue with that have nothing to do with Reddit. Most of them pay, and it's great, but I would not have done it if it wasn't for No Sleep. So I think No Sleep just doesn't get enough credit for, this is the place where writers will go and they'll put something out there. And if there's a response to it, you could be on the cusp of never writing again. And if you get people who are interested, like, you get those comments, you get those upvotes, you get any amount of engagement, it changes your entire life. Like, it really, like, I thought that I would never write again. I wrote a terrible first novel that was wildly overdramatic and lit fic. And then I got no sleep, and I wrote a short story that was about a person going under their house, and there's a bunch of locks on their crawl space. And I got so many responses to that short story that I'm like, well, I'll try again. I'll write another thing. I'll write another thing. I'll write another thing. It's stunning the amount of people who might have writing careers that they just need a little bit of encouragement, and no sleep can be that. I think that's why it just makes me so sad where these stories go up, and that might be the moment. And the rules are sometimes so confusing, or they're so slim and narrow that could either be you're going to have 2,000 people react to your story, or it's going to get removed in 20 minutes, but it's kind of an iffy gray area. So my main thing would be, I really wish No Sleep understood how much impact it has on everyone, like anyone involved in writing. All of us here, like talking about doing different things. A lot of us have now like contracts with podcasts. We all do commissions. We're all friends, and we're all gonna, fucking party at the No Sleep sleepover. It's because of No Sleep. It is a fundamental chapter in a lot of writers' lives.
It's a community. I mean, I've stopped writing there, Travis, and even still in OOC, man, I can't let go. I've got to check in and see if people are doing okay.
Goddamn crybaby.
I know.
Which actually, and on that note, I'll talk about that for about half a second, and then I'd like to hear more from Poppy in general. But I will tell you a funny thing that happened today and make a really super non-dramatic announcement. So I put a survey out on OOC today asking for writers to send in information for new people. And it's very, very similar. And in fact, somebody brought this up. Lane's grandma is a moderator on No Sleep, and they have written some extremely in-depth posts about the rules and really breaking them down. And if you've never read those, even if you're a veteran No Sleep writer, I think they're a fantastic read.
They're brilliant.
But no, they really are. I mean, it's written like a damn doctoral thesis. It's fantastic
Great.
stuff.
She's a wonderful
And-
mom.
Oh, 100%. Tell Lane I'm a fan. I love those things. I'm sure the mods think I'm a pain in the ass. I love you anyway. Those Lane,
You're okay.
those posts, whatever. Moderator, don't lie to me. I like to tease Poppy. But those posts are fantastic. And so I put out a survey saying, hey guys, I want to aggregate some information for new writers. It's just going to be a little free, here you go, have this thing. It'll help you out getting started. And so I think so far, actually, I'm going to bring it up while I talk here. I'm going to be really rude and stare at my phone as I discuss this. So I put out these author surveys. And so I have gotten 21 responses so far, which I think is really incredible that 21 people have taken time out of their day to try to give some institutional knowledge from their writing careers to new writers. And one of them, I'm going to have to read it verbatim because I've kind of forgotten now, but it was so, it's funny. It is. If you guys can bear with me for like just a minute, it'll be worth the wait. So I do want to tell you what the question was and then what the answer was. So I don't know, there's 7 to 10 questions. And so 20 of the replies have been very helpful informational replies. And then one of them has answered me in a way that lets me know that somebody on No Sleep does not enjoy me as a person, and that's okay. So the question was, what is your Reddit username? And the response was, I don't know if you guys can see this. No, you can't. The response is, your Reddit username is "fuck you, crybaby." Second question: how long have you been writing on No Sleep? I thought you quit? Question mark. So somebody does not, as a person, like me very much, and that's okay because I don't actually care. And if you're listening, I don't care because I think it's funny. It was a good laugh. And so what I took away from this, though, I guess about 10 days ago, I decided I'm going to quit writing on No Sleep, not because I don't love it, because I do. The community is fantastic. I just wanted a chance to concentrate on some other pieces of work. But I put out this really well-meaning thing to try to help the community, and somebody said, "Fuck you, crybaby." And so what I've decided to do is come out of retirement as a spite writer on No Sleep. No kidding. No, no, no. I'm back, baby. There is somebody out there that dislikes me so much that they took their time to answer a survey just to whine that I put a survey up. So I'm coming back. I won't write as much as I used to, but I'm just going to start writing on No Sleep again because I made somebody that sad. I'm just coming back. So that's it. Poppy,
Good
talk to us a
reason.
little. No, and then that's it. It's spite writing.
Which is
Poppy,
good.
No, I love No Sleep. No Sleep's a fantastic place. Poppy, but a question I have to pose to you as far as moderators, and I know that you can't speak for the team, and I'll be honest, I would say somewhere in the ballpark of 90% of my interactions with the mod team have really been positive. Even in some removals, the communication was good, open, and honest. And in the end, they were actually able to help me understand, hey, this really was a rule violation, and they took the time to educate me in a really polite way. So most of my interaction with the mod team has been really great. 10% of it, not so much, but that's also the smaller portion. I guess my question for you, or not my question, but I guess maybe you could speak to this a little bit for me, is the moderators are a really integral part of the community. End of story. I mean, you can't deny it. They grease the wheels, they keep it running, they're doing essentially free labor. I'm not trying to kiss mod ass because I've said some nasty things to some mods. So then, some of them may see this sometime and be like, yeah, that guy. They're probably the ones that, told me to fuck off, crybaby. And that's cool. But the mod team are an integral part of the community. They're very important, but they're also so very rarely seen. The time that you talk to mods is when things has not gone well. Other than Poppy, you're pretty communicative on OOC, and Lane's grandma writes those really good informational posts. But for the most part, the only interaction a no sleeper is going to have with a mod is when something went wrong. So I guess the challenge I would give you is go back to the mod team and tell them, we want to talk to you guys, not with an agenda. We just want to talk. Come be with us. It's a community. We like to discuss things. And I think that goodwill would expand a pretty great deal if the mods were just kind of out there living their lives, talking to people, making friends, building relationships, really being a visible portion of the community. So just whatever you've got to say about that.
I don't think that the no sleep rules need to change all that much, to be honest. I think they're pretty good for the most part. And yeah, I'd be happy to participate in that conversation if that was a thing that could happen, for sure.
I would also say that we definitely can't put any of that on Poppy because that is not
of course
job at all. And a lot of us have thoughts on how No Sleep maybe should change its rules, but fucking is.
Yeah, Poppy's just a person. She's not for anybody watching, PoppyMoonray is not the spokesman for the mods. Poppy is
I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I came here.
The only main thing, the only
body
main thing is
slams.
that Poppy could clearly body slam Ryan. There's
Yeah. I have no doubt.
Bring it.
When we started and we were introducing ourselves, I was gonna lie. I was gonna pull a deco and say I was CMD and say I'm the head mod of the subreddit. Who's gonna argue with me?
But also, do we think Deco's okay? Because
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of legit worried about it.
He has not answered my messages. If anybody has Deco's phone number,
whiskeyed himself into a very nice, comfortable cocoon.
No, folks, I'm concerned. He drank a G-trip amount of whiskey, and that is
did
alarming.
drink quite a bit.
I think he's in bed, honestly.
Yeah,
I hope he is.
I hope
he wore a suit, and I love how the G-trip amount of whiskey is that Ryan's like, I'm slightly buzzed.
I'm going for a refill, so I'll be right back, guys.
But in terms of what Ryan was saying, I do wish that is one thing that I wish, and it's not like a rule adjustment or anything, but I wish that there was more interaction between the mods and the subreddit overall. And there's some, I've seen more comments recently. Some of the other mods, Firefly and Dawn and Lane's grandma's great, Fox, people have been, sorry, my cat's trying to get into my alcohol, or I mean, my tea. But they've been more active in OOC, and I think that's great, because I think, like Ryan was saying, if the only interaction you have between the authors and the mods is a potentially negative one with a removal, that's hard. And it's easier to want to work with the mods if you know they're coming from a point of being friendly and helpful, and ultimately wanting your story to go up on the subreddit, wanting to work with you, wanting to help you. And I think that that's something we could kind of maybe shift our public image a little bit if we were more active in everything. I think would benefit it. I know back when I was doing No Sleep interviews, at one point we did do an interview with the mod team at that time, everyone who wanted to volunteer to do it. And I think that was amazing. I think it was really fun and really cool. And it kind of put a name, a personalized name to the username, and it gave some warmth to it. And I think that that helped. But that interview's from 4 years ago. Like, the mods change so frequently and the community changes so frequently. Like, I know, Travis, you've been around about 5 years. Jordan, you've been here at least 2 or 3, because I've been talking to you, like, that first project I asked you about to work on was over 2 years ago. So you've been around a while.
I think this March will be 3 years. Something like that. March or May will be 3 years, I think.
Okay. My computer just went all black. I don't know why.
Oh no.
Can
you still see us?
I can hear you guys, but I can't see anything.
We can still see you.
This is not going well. This is a cursed Zoom meeting. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Maybe it's your screensaver just kicked in.
That's what I thought, but I don't know. Whatever. I'll just talk to your disembodied voices. It's fine.
Well, we're here. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I think, and like Trip, you've been here roughly a year and stuff.
Yeah.
I think things have shifted so much. Like, I was trying to think earlier, I was trying to pinpoint how long I've been a mod. And I know I joined in 2017, and then I left for a while and then came back. And then I was thinking about it. The current list is not accurate in terms of the time frame people have been on there, because at some point the subreddit was hacked. I don't know if any of you guys know of that, because it was before all of your times. The subreddit's been hacked twice.
Oh, wow.
And one time they actually removed all of the moderators and like were screwing. It was the previous head mod, the guy who had actually created the subreddit, not throwing him under the bus, but two-factor authentication, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, he got hacked, and they deleted everybody. They were like putting the subreddit on private, blocking things. And then the other one I thought was really cute, because they changed all of the CSS, and it had a picture of a cat in a tuxedo holding a martini.
I mean, No Sleep's a classy place. If a cat drinking a martini in a tuxedo is not it, I don't.
It was pretty great. And then they just had a link to their Twitter, and the Twitter, like, if you went to it, was just like, haha, I hacked No Sleep.
Just on Twitter.
Yeah, so it was fun. Well, I'm sure it was enough. It was stressful for everybody at the time, but we got the sub back. But I think that it is tricky, because there's old guard mods, so to speak, that have been around a long time, and they have maybe name recognition because they've been around a long time, but they don't necessarily put in the time with the community either. And then the new mods do, but then sometimes people get hostile towards the new mods and like, oh, you're making mistakes, you don't understand things. And it's a learning process for everybody involved, and it's difficult for everybody involved. And
the one addendum I would put on that is, I think a lot of writers get hostile towards any mods. It doesn't matter if they're new.
Yeah.
They've been there forever. It's just like, if you say, hey, your story doesn't work, a lot of writers are gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna burn your house down. And
yeah.
So
well, I think a lot of writers
okay.
are to a point where they think they're infallible. I know more than the mods. I think there is a misunderstanding fundamentally in the community that for some reason mods are just out to get you, which is
Ryan,
not
I'm
true.
literally right here, so it hurts my feelings when you put me on
Travis,
blast
you
like
know
that.
what? I was not going to call you out by name, but if you want to play this game, here we are. Let's do the damn thing.
I'm saying I think Poppy's on my side. And I think Poppy and I could probably take you in a professional wrestling match.
I
I
would like
think
to
that's-
challenge you both.
Okay, bring it on. Let's see.
All right,
That-
Poppy, you sound confident. I was a little. I don't know. I
Now
think
here's
two of
let me
us-
tell you this. Deco, when he sobers up from his sweet tea binger, he is going to be my hype man. He's gonna
Okay,
get me
all-
worked
Okay,
up.
he can be your hype man, but he
all
can't be on
100
your side because that's just like
No, he's on my side. If he's my
No,
hype
no,
man, he's
no.
on my side.
Poppy,
He's
I'd
not
say-
gonna fight.
Let him have Deco. All 112 pounds of Deco is not going to be a deterrent to
Okay.
us.
I'm gonna pepper spray you both. I just want you to know.
Okay, all right. We're getting Jordan, and he's Canadian, and you can't do anything to
you
him
can't
because
pepper spray him. He's
You know what?
nice.
No, I cannot beat all three of you. I'm actually gonna bow out there. I know you guys thought I'd keep going. That scares me.
We actually settle our disputes in Canada by chugging maple syrup. Whoever finishes it faster.
so the first person to go into diabetic ketosis loses.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Exactly.
What if we had a moonshine drinking contest? Could we do that?
The fact that you're
That
from
one I might have to
Kentucky,
tap out on.
you being from Kentucky makes it a little sus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Do I
think
look like a guy that could drink moonshine? Come on, I'm a pansy.
yes, they literally put you on the fucking label. They're just like, here you go.
Pappy Van Winkle is my great grandfather.
Ryan Stump whiskey moonshine. Brain cells goodbye. You know.
If I start a brand, it's gonna be Ryan Stump Moonshine. That's it.
I will say no sleepover. I do think that if we go to Pittsburgh, they have a casino there. So we could literally take a bunch of no sleep riders and go to a casino. We can all play blackjack. And I am very bad at blackjack. I think I'm good at blackjack until about like 6 drinks in, at which point I just lose any concept of like risk management. And I'm just like double, split, double. It goes very poorly. So I think it'd be fun though, because we could all go.
We could.
Then
So,
anyone who has a brain can be like, let me, manage my finances. And
So are we doing Pittsburgh? That's the place. That's where we're gonna go for sure.
I'm gonna say that as dad sleep, you're the one who has to do the final decision, Ryan. I like Pittsburgh because it's near-ish me. I would also take Philadelphia, but anything in that strip.
I like Pittsburgh for the same reasons. It's near Canada.
Pittsburgh is very
So,
central.
So Jordan, you're
I
gonna
think New
come.
Mexico. It is not central.
I'm going to
for
try to
me.
come as long as I can get a passport. And
Oh,
I just
good
have to say from the chat a while back that Dominator 619 did say that they think Jacob might have came back in a room
And laid down on
and
the
laid
couch.
down on the floor.
Oh my god.
So he might be here still.
You know what
Just
I'm going to do
off
actually
camera.
as a kindness, now that you brought that up again, I'm actually going to boot Deco out of here, not to be mean, but let's just let the guy sleep.
He can come
Wait.
back if he wants to.
He
He might be
can.
listening the whole time and just like not able to participate.
My
Deco, we
computer
love
is
you.
still like cursed. It's just a black screen, but I can hear
Oh,
you all
no.
fine. So
Oh, it's okay. You
Jesus,
remember,
as soon as I said it, it went back and then it went away again.
I
Now
think
it's
you
black
must.
again, but it came back for a second.
Well, I just
Okay.
wanted to remind you how pretty we
Okay.
were.
It's
We're
better
still
now.
here.
Yay.
Oh, you can see again?
I
Yeah.
do think
That's good.
that Pittsburgh is it's a good spawn point for all of us.
I'm not mad about Pittsburgh.
Do we even want to do it at the same time as SoCon? Like, I honestly, I was looking at the SoCon website. I could give a shit if I went to
Well,
any of those.
I think my pitch was actually going to be to you guys. I think Pittsburgh is still fine. I wonder if the fall might not be a little kinder on the prices.
Well, and then also, didn't you say the StokerCon weekend is the weekend of the Taylor Swift concert? So wouldn't that, I think doing it a different time might be beneficial to everybody.
I would
Yeah,
agree with different time. I think well, I'll say for fall, since I'm a selfish asshole, I'm getting married at the end of September. We're probably
Right.
gonna-
I'm sorry, by fall, I mean excessively early fall, the start of August.
yeah, well, any other time would be good. And also, I would like to pick up Daria from Delaware. I think she's going to be here in like late June or July. Peculiar
okay.
Dark.
I did not know Darren was going to
nice.
be here, man. Let's,
Yes, I do, Jordan. I talked to her recently. I think that she and her daughter are moving over to the US. I believe it
oh,
was
that's fantastic.
Delaware.
That's awesome.
And I think it'd be cool because then that way I can pick them up because I live near Delaware on the way.
Hmm.
If we do something either like a summer meetup or like a very early
Well,
fall.
I did have one additional spot I would like to pitch out. It's a very nice place, Richmond, Virginia.
I mean, that's where Deco lives, isn't it?
Is Deco in Arlington?
I don't know. I know he's in Virginia. I might be wrong.
I can do Virginia easy because I'm right
That's
up
also-
Maryland.
That's
Well,
also
and-
pretty close for me too.
And yeah,
and-
Jordan, that's I think maybe 2 more hours for you.
Yeah,
so
it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
Jordan, how are you gonna do that? Because you're coming from the frozen north. Like you gotta.
I gotta take the dog. I gotta pack up the dogs and like hook them up to the sled, and then once there's no more snow, what season are we gonna do this in? Oh, this could be trouble actually.
Well, this is summer. Summer.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
geez.
this summer, like
down here in civilization.
As soon as we
You-
cross the border, the snow is gone. So
But
yeah,
you
it's Arctic winter here all year.
Couldn't you
I'll
just
say
ride
as,
one
as
of
a
the
Marylander, we have literally not have snow. There's no snow. We've had a balmy 60-degree average this entire winter.
You know, that's really been about how the Kentucky winter's gone.
Yeah, no, we actually don't have snow. Like in like a couple of weeks, it'll be nice here.
Jordan, which part of Canada are you in? I've never asked you.
I'm in
Like-
Southern Ontario, so it's more south than Michigan, I
Yeah.
think. Like a lot of the United States is more north than us.
Oh.
So it's pretty warm actually for the most part. Yeah. Like in a week or two, it'll start getting nice here.
I've actually been to Ontario. It's a pretty nice place.
You have been, yeah?
Yeah,
To
I
Toronto?
like Canada quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's really nice. I like it. It's
Well, I feel like Toronto's where every American's been, that or Quebec.
I will say we
Yeah.
went to Niagara Falls, both on the
Niagara
American
Falls is nice.
side and the Canadian side.
yeah. It's very touristy in Niagara Falls. There's a lot of like
So-
casinos and everything's really expensive there.
And I think I told you before, my dad got hit by a car as we are going across a crosswalk
Oh,
on the Canadian side, which was amazing because a bus and a bunch of cars stopped and the bus waved us all over. So we started across the crosswalk and there's a very French driver who blew through a crosswalk that was in a 40-mile-per-hour. I don't know what it is for kilometers. But she was going about double the speed limit. And
Yeah.
luckily my dad saw her and pushed us all back, and he ended up breaking her passenger window, knocked the mirror off, and went flying. But he was okay. But she almost sped up at the crosswalk, and it
Wow.
was a fantastic experience. But after that, we went to the Hershey factory, which was nearby.
I've
And
been
we
there.
saw the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls, and we're just like, Canada overall, much nicer. That one French driver, very crazy.
It was all the croissants.
Yeah. Not to generalize, but drivers from Quebec have been, in Ontario, we tend to think that they're a little bit crazy drivers, but I'll probably get shit for saying that if anybody from Quebec's in the comments, but
I like to think Quebec is the Canadian equivalent of Louisiana. And no, come on. Tell me they're not, man.
You
Those people
can't,
are
first of all, you can't make any equivalent to Louisiana, Alabama, or Mississippi.
Oh,
That is
crawdad.
It is a hate crime to compare any other place on the planet to Alabama, Louisiana, or Mississippi.
Although I
Well,
have been to
I'm going to commit a
Montreal.
hate crime.
I've been to
I don't know what tell
Montreal,
you.
and they're very good drivers in Montreal. Everybody there is like a Formula One driver. Like they're passing each other on the inside, on the outside.
I also feel like literally no matter how bad anything in Canada happens, like we've beat it in the US. Like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I will tell you, Jordan, and I hate to stereotype anybody, but Canadians, in my experience, on an interpersonal level, really are the nicest people I've met. I was in Ottawa, and I knocked a guy like shoulder checked him on parking lot, knocked him down, and he apologized for being in my way.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
And getting a backwoods Kentucky kid knocking down a Canadian, there was apologizing for hours. I think we're sending each other's kids to college. I'm speaking at the funeral. It has turned into this whole thing.
Yeah. We we got our fair share of assholes up here too, but
Oh, no doubt, no
for the
doubt.
most part, we're pretty polite.
All right, so so are we focusing on Pittsburgh or are we looking at Virginia for the
I think I'm going to pitch both and just say we've got Pittsburgh, we've got Virginia. What's more reasonable to everybody? And the only reason I throw out Virginia, it's still fairly close to you guys, so that's not asking. Jordan's literally traveling from another country. Maryland's not.
It's
Your
like a different
neighbors.
country, sure.
It's no. Well, Virginia is like a different country in America. It's its own beast. But I say we just throw it out, see what everybody thinks. I think Richmond will be a little more price friendly as far as getting out and doing activities. It'll be slightly more limited, but I've got to be honest, man. If we all get together in the same place, I think we're going to want to be doing a lot of bullshitting around the house anyway. So yeah, look, that's what's going to happen. Am I wrong here?
No,
Cards
I
Against
think
Humanity all day, baby.
Absolutely.
if we don't do Stoker Con, which I don't think we're going to at this point, like tickets are insanely expensive.
They are, and I've got to tell you this: if one of you guys get, if any of our friends ever end up getting a Stoker nomination, let's go.
Yeah,
I'll pay $350 to go, sit there and champion you and Jordan. But look, we were kind of going for giggles there, but nobody's winning a damn Stoker award for anything. Let's save our money, and nobody gives a shit that we're no sleep authors, okay? Although did I tell you guys I got recognized by somebody in public as a no sleep writer?
no.
Really?
Wow,
ahead.
that's
It
awesome.
Wow.
it was very strange.
What happened?
Yeah.
No, I was just down in Nashville, and I was at the oh good lord, it was the Hilton True Hotel downtown, and I was checking in, went down for a concert, and somebody just said, "Are you G Trip?" And I said, "Yeah." That's weird. And they were just like, "Good stories, man," but they never explained anything, and they walked away. I have no idea
Wow.
how they.
It was
knew who I-
Dominator.
It might Dominator. I may have met you in person, so it was a
That's
pleasure to meet you. Thanks for the compliment. But
that's kind of incredible.
somebody in my life knew who I was. It was very creepy. So,
You know,
not in an uncomfortable. I don't know. It was just odd that anybody recognized me in a different state.
I don't know if that's ever happened to you, Travis, but I remember once at work, I was telling somebody about my book, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I post on No Sleep," and the next day I come back and they're like, "Oh yeah, my son or daughter reads your stuff, like they know who you are." I was like,
cool.
"Oh shit!" Like that's so weird. Like I don't know, has that ever happened to you, Travis? Like I would think, no.
Absolutely not. I've never been recognized in real life from Reddit. Even folks I know that use Reddit and no sleep, they're like, never heard of you. Never.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now, one of my trainees knew who G Trip 14 was. Fun fact, I never told them it was me. It was just really funny to hear them talk about me and have no idea. They were talking about that. In fact, actually, oddly enough, Jordan, they liked you. Travis, they liked you. They were new to town Jam fans.
Wow.
Dalek Emperor and G Trip 14. And I was just like, that G Trip 14 writes for shit. Agreed with him about the rest, though. Solid stuff.
HG Gravy
asshole.
says he got recognized at his wedding by a
Oh,
guest
wow.
for a No Sleep podcast story.
That's cool.
Gravy, that's fantastic.
That's great.
Poppy,
I
have you
remember
ever been
CK
recognized
Walker.
as a moderator?
What's that?
I remember CK Walker telling a story about how she was in a movie theater and she heard two girls in front of her talking about Braska, and she like didn't tell them it was her, but what a surreal moment. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I know Beifel got recognized by one of the kids that he tutors, was talking about one of his stories in No Sleep, and then I don't think he admitted that it was him that wrote it. I wouldn't cop to writing some of those Uncle Bean stories.
I was like, yeah, if it was a clown, like
No, it was a different story, but yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I work in the hospital, and like one of my worst fears when my book came out was that somebody would be like, one of my patients would be reading the book and would just like be looking at the back cover with my picture, and they'd be like,
Oh no.
"Is this you?" Like, I don't know why, it just like terrified me that would happen, that somebody would recognize me.
this giant motherfucker looks familiar.
You've got to be the tallest man in Canada.
I think it's close. Him and Deco are both. Also, so I've been doing a podcast with Nick Boddick for a while. If anyone's
really?
Yeah, no, he's amazing writer, really cool guy. He's also like 6'7". So
Wow.
I'm assuming all of you need to enter some kind of Thunderdome. For anyone above 6'5", and you all figure it out. Because
I mean, Jordan, I don't know what to do, man. I'm used to being the tall guy in the room, and you have made me tiny. And I'm not uncomfortable. I just don't know what to do with it.
I feel
Have
pretty
Jordan
good.
pick you up and cradle you in his arms.
Yeah.
Jordan can absolutely cradle. At a normal human height of 5'10", which is like slightly above average. All of you are wrong. I'm the correct one. I feel pretty good. Though also my fiance is almost 6 feet tall, so she's slightly taller than me. So there's nothing any of you can do that'll make me less secure. And then just hang out with her and like be on my little tiptoes, like, look, kiss.
Travis, has she ever rocked you to sleep in a rocking chair?
A couple times.
And I think that's sweet. You guys are meant to be together.
Yeah. But as I said, I am the correct height. Everyone who deviates lower or higher, you're wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Poppy, kick him in the shin while you're
I
doing it.
know.
5'10" is it.
What did I do to you?
You're either Giants or Poppy, or you're not on the right team. All right.
Okay.
Can we take a second just to give a shout out to Chris Wrights for
That is awesome.
Oh yes, Chris Hicks,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
It's
So-
exciting now that it's coming so frequent that there's these announcements about people in the community having these awesome
Yeah.
accomplishments.
It is
Well,
weirdly frequent because I think that all right. So I know Scary, I think, got an agent like a month ago, and then right
Yes.
before him,
Rick the intern
yes, Rick the intern got a big one, and
got
just
a movie deal recently, like less.
And,
I feel like less than a month ago.
And the
Like,
thing
Yeah.
is that like none of these big stories have come out yet on streaming, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for one of them to come out and just
oh, it's going to be a good day, man. I can't wait to watch it.
destroy it, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Hi, we work for Hollywood. We see that you post on No Sleep."
Well, and that's what I was going to bring up.
Full of money.
And here's the beautiful thing, Travis, and I still don't feel like you're wrong, but earlier you said No Sleep is, shouldn't be a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
It still is, but at this point, some people are starting to drive through the yards, man. It's a bit more of a destination than any of us really wanted to talk about. And I've not had any of that kind of success, but I mean, I'm currently, waiting. There's a guy writing one of my stories that's on the last 30 pages of the script, and he's a working screenwriter that has movies out and TV shows. And No Sleep is not a destination, but it's turning into one.
Let me judo toss it back at you,
Come on, man.
Ryan,
I'm
my
ready.
friend. What does it feel like being basically? I don't want to say this the spokesperson for No Sleep, but in a lot of ways, I think a ton.
oh
of
shit, Simba is here.
Simba.
All right, we're all playing chess and mahjong. I can't pronounce anything.
Hang on, let me switch my audio over. My headphones are going dead. Give it just a second, buddy.
And I see that you're avoiding how that your dad sleep.
Not at all.
Okay, and yeah, how does that feel? Because I know that CMD is always
Hang
had a
on, Travis.
reputation.
My speakers have not picked up yet. Give me just a second.
I'm gonna get you like as soon as you come back. There's
Simba.
Okay, try it now.
literally no one who has
Nope.
been up for the last 3 or 4 hours watching all this. All right.
Okay,
Right.
I can hear you now, Travis. Go ahead.
What does it feel like having the burden and responsibility of being dad sleep? Because a lot of people, especially new writers, and you start all these different Discord groups, they look to you for guidance. And it seems like just a terrible privilege that you have.
Buddy, I think that nobody but you and Hawaiian and Mash think that I'm dad sleep. And it's a sweet thing to be called. Simba's on here twice, by the way.
I know.
I was gonna say we have double Simba, and I am ready to play chess right
Oh
now.
no, no. As far as dad sleep, no, that's probably the only nice thing anybody's ever called me in my entire life, because I'm kind of a dick.
Oh, we got Simba on a roller coaster. Hold on.
Hey. Hello.
Hey,
testing.
Simba.
Hey Simba.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
No. So I'm only here for 10 seconds to say hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, hello Simba.
That's
We're
my
glad
favorite
you
place
stopped on to
is
say
Philippines.
hi.
Thanks for joining.
What?
How
So,
are you?
yeah.
Simba?
So yeah, not at home. I'm not at home. I don't have earphones with me, so I have to talk a bit louder.
Well, for those who are with us here, we have Simba the Savage 8. She is a very well-known short, scary stories writer and a well-known no sleep writer. Simba, thank you for stopping in. It's good to see you tonight.
Somehow lah.
Your glasses are really cool, by the way, Simba.
Thanks.
What's your favorite zombie movie, Simba?
And why? And why?
And why?
Real.
Hey, Simba,
This
can you
is the
hear me?
most important question that anyone ever been asked.
Ever.
Just question. Speak for quite some time.
What'd you
hello,
say,
Mike.
Simba? I couldn't hear you.
So yeah, have to. So yeah,
Simba,
as I
can you
said,
hear
not
us?
at home. I can hear you, but need to talk a bit louder. Just not at home, as I said. I'm actually
I
outside the
think
library.
this is about as loud as I can talk with a house full of sleeping people.
What is your favorite zombie movie?
Zombie movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Oh.
Simba, what is your
Yeah.
favorite TV show?
Pardon?
What is your favorite TV show?
I also don't watch TV.
All right. I've
Simba's
got the
smart.
perfect one. No, I got the good one. All right. Simba, what is your favorite chess opening?
There we go.
The Evans Gambit.
Travis, you win. And Simba,
I'll
that
say-
was the only right answer.
Any of the gambits always get me feeling a little too risky. I prefer a very slow, like Sicilian, or something that's even more defensive. Gambits are just like, here's a piece of material, take it. I'm gonna punish you. But I always think, well, I'm gonna fuck this up somehow.
I disagree. I always play the Remy LeBeau gambit.
Yeah,
So,
because
yeah.
you're basically that one X-Men that's from Bayou.
I'm just relieved anybody knew what I was talking about. It's validated
did
me as a
not.
person.
I only know one chess move, and it's an opening. And if somebody else knows how to do it, oh shit, Mashnoor's here too.
Oh,
Yay.
What time is it that we have now?
Good,
We're
it's
in-
11:15
We've been up so
where
late
I
that
am.
we're in a different time zone.
We've all stayed on so late that we're about to get a Hawaiian shirted.
Yeah.
I
Good.
no, that's true. Like, you think we're almost done, but we're not. We're just going to add more people and keep talking. Hey, Poppy, you're getting everything that you wanted and more.
I know.
Mesh
Hi,
Nor, can you
Mesh.
hear
Hey,
us?
Mesh Nor.
Yeah, I can.
Hello, Mash.
Can you hear me? Hello.
What's
Hi,
up,
Mesh.
man?
Yeah, forgive
your
the
gimp
MacBook
leg?
microphone. Still broken.
Mash,
Probably
I
less
want to
broken.
say something.
Huh?
It's
I'm
no
going
true
to
fact.
rub it in your face that I'm your favorite location right now. The one you cannot point out in your story, in your narration of my story.
Ooh.
Oh,
Because
I
What
want
am I
everybody to
doing?
notice that Mash Nor is trying to grow a beard because he wants to be more like me.
He's
I'm also
Oh,
gonna I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I was
point out-
listening a little bit. I was brushing my teeth before I joined. I was listening, and I saw Motto asked you what it's like to be dad sleep. You're definitely my dad. I mean, 100%.
Literally listen to Mash's voice. That is the most goddamn narrator voice I've ever
No,
heard
no,
in
it-
my life.
It
I
is
don't know.
no.
I have a
it's-
couple. This one isn't usually used for. This one actually doesn't show up on narrations at all. This is usually the main character voice. It's a lot less raspy, a lot less
feel-
deep. It makes
I
it
feel
sound
like
like a
has-
normal person.
He has voices in his fucking armory.
Yeah.
He just
Oh.
like, do I pull this out today? Like, are you ready for this?
Oh, Mash is ridiculous. No, Mash has made me break my rules on free stories for narrators. And Travis, more than anybody, knows how absolutely avid I am about not doing that. And I'm like, I like this kid. He can have free things.
I literally keep trying to give Mash
Bro.
free stories, and he's like, "You can't do it. Can't. I'm sorry."
Yeah, because tricked me into it. Okay, this guy's just like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can do you a favor, man. I love you, Trip." And he's like, "Oh yeah. You need to do this story." Oh, a frick. I locked myself
He's just
in.
gonna keep telling me no, and then I'm literally just gonna be like pounding on his door at 4 a.m. I'm like, Mash, take the story, please.
No,
Bring it out here,
Travis.
like, please narrate me.
Travis, wait 3 days from now and ask Mash if he can do you a favor. And he's going to say OFC.
No,
That's what he's gonna say.
I
Hey,
will
everybody,
say-
Simba just sent a message and said can't stay long. The area she's in is crowded. She wanted to say hi and take care. Simba, thank
Bye,
you so
Simba.
much for coming
And,
in.
It was great seeing
Thanks
you,
for
Simba.
popping in.
Mash,
it's
man,
fine,
thanks for
'cause-
joining us,
'cause-
buddy.
Everything
yeah.
that Mash refuses, I'm just gonna sell to Dark Somnium. So
Yeah, man.
No,
He's
I've
gonna do a
opened
better job,
floodgate.
anyways. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I
I-
feel like
I-
you two would have like a really good collab.
Hey, Travis.
I've talked to
Oh.
him, but he can barely keep up with authors. Keeping up with me is gonna be who am I?
No, here's what you've got to do, Travis. How much would you, Mash? What is your favorite story from Travis?
I don't know. The one that like I'll probably always remember is Fermi Paradox. Is that entire experience from Ronnie was like, I don't know. I want to see that adapted. You were talking a little bit while I was brushing my teeth about one of these are going to get adapted one day, and everyone. I'm like, I need to see Fermi Paradox as like a show or movie.
And
I
you're,
have to.
you are
do it.
literally the only person that picks that because every
No,
other
Travis, it's a
narrator I
good
talk
story,
to,
man.
it's the Whistler, it's Marie on the Moon.
Bro, because narrators are goddamn stupid losers that think that they can effing like just easily, quickly get a bunch of views. No, you got to put in so much work for that. My only story that did 130K is like 2 hours. It took me 7 days total, like straight 7 to 10 hours of working to make that entire narration. It is
Hey,
a ton
Travis,
of
can you help
goddamn
me out
work.
with a favor?
What's up?
So Fermi Paradox, is that an exclusive anywhere?
I'm not gonna.
I'd
Is it-
honestly have to check. I don't know who I sold it to.
I saw it on Dark Somnium. I remember that.
Yeah,
he
I
did
don't
so
know if
good.
I don't know honestly if I gave it to Ron as an exclusive or if it was one of the it was probably like I'll usually go to him or Doc, No Sleep First, if they're willing to pay 6 cents a word.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
after
If-
this,
Didn't you write?
after the next couple, I'm moving up to either 7 or 8 cents a word. Like
I
I'm
think you
really
should.
trying to.
here's my question to you, man. I'm going to do this to Mash twice. If
I'm not
Paradox
gonna-
is not a permanent exclusive, pitch me a price for how much you want for that, and I'm going to buy it for Mash.
No,
That's-
dude. That thing would actually take me ages to do. It would, and like if some stories have just been done well. Like I would never want to do Pen Pal. MCP did a beautiful job. I'd never want to do Fermi Paradox. Ronnie did a beautiful job.
I think Ronnie did pen pal. I think he
Ronnie
did-
never did Pen Pal.
Ronnie
did-
did, he did left, right, gang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ronnie did left, right. Okay.
Yeah,
One of our
did-
big, the usual ones did Baraska. It wasn't just Q code. It was either Mr.
MCP
Peace.
did Baraska and
Yeah,
Baraska.
MCP
being-
did for sure.
a lot of the like big hitters like Spire in the Woods was MCP and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know you were talking
If
about Right Chris
Paradox is
Wrights
not
a
an
second ago.
exclusive,
I'm sorry, Nash, go ahead.
Yeah, you were talking about Right Chris Wrights a second ago. Ronnie did do the sleep paralysis demon story from him, and that was
Yes.
beautiful. That's one of the stories that like I think from Ronnie, the story that like I'll remember is What Happens When Stars Go Out from Jesse Clark. I remember
Oh.
listening to that when I was walking to campus, and I was like, it was so good. It was perfect. That story was so beautiful.
I think that out of every writer who's been on No Sleep, Jesse Clark and Elias Witherrow are the two that I like the most. Like, they're not always the strongest, but they are just like insane when they hit it. Because Jesse Clark did When the Stars Go Out. Elias Witherrow, of course, did Tommy Taffy. He always and then he did the I can't even remember the name of the story. And did the pig or whatever it was.
Yeah, Feed the Pig.
Feed the Pig. Yes, thank you. They're both nuts, and I've gotten a chance to talk to Jesse Clark on a couple different podcasts, and he's just amazing.
I gotta meet him, and he's just as good in person. He's really nice. He did make fun of my laugh, but that's justified.
He seems like a shy guy who's just like insanely good at putting words together. Like,
he's really quick. Yeah.
Sounds like lighting nations there.
fucking like
That guy writes too much, bro. That guy is something else. There's a machine.
I talked to him
He is
about
a beast.
titles all the time, and I remember when he started, because he had a completely different account, and then he's like, I don't like my account's name, even though he was one of like probably the top 20 most popular accounts on No Sleep and Short Scary Stories, and he said, I'm just going to restart a new one, and he made a new one, and now he's bigger than me or anyone that I know. He's just nuts. He's a fucking
What was his old account? What?
fuck, he had a it had a number in it. It was like 3 something. And he was very big on Short Scary Stories. He was pretty big on No Sleep. Like, he had a bunch of 2 and 3K plus stories. And then he's like, I don't like the name of my channel. I'm going to make a new one. And then he did Lighting Nations, and then he just fucking exploded like out of nowhere.
When I'm like a newer narrator, I approached him once because I read this story. Every now and then, like, I don't have a very fast reading speed, so I like read the introduction paragraphs. I look at the twist to see if I like it, and maybe I'll skim the middle to see if I enjoy the story enough to want to give it to people. And so every now and then I'll like start reading, and I'm gonna keep goddamn reading because it just guts me. Like, I remember reading Blanketed in the Stars. I sat down that day to look for a couple stories to read. I didn't know Trip at the time at all, so I just saw this story at like #1 at Hot, pressed on it, started reading, kept reading. I got to the end. My thought was, I can't do this, and I closed my phone. I just got off No Sleep for the day.
You're ridiculous.
I gave up. But for Lighting Nations, I read the fairy spotting story that he wrote. And I at the time, I'm like a new narrator. I don't know anything about anything, so I just go to this guy, super big author, and I just don't know at all. I just message him, hey man, I like this story. I can't really pay you. Can I do this one? And he's like, yeah, sure. And like at the time, like later I went back and I realized like Mr. Creeps has done like 3 of this guy's story. I went to like look at his profile and like 5,000, 6,000. I'm like, oh, gee, this guy just gave me a story. What the frick?
Yeah. He also did.
Lighting is one of the most humble cats out there.
And also,
granted, I don't think he ever listened to my narration of it, and that made me a little sad. I will say that that hurt a bit.
He's
too busy writing, man.
Yeah,
he is bombarded with requests.
Yeah, his
also,
writing advice was right, and that's the only one I remember like as much as Trips.
Yeah. No, he's great. He's very Irish. If you haven't talked to him, he's like the most Irish, which is fantastic. But dude's a machine. He like churns out winner after winner, and he got very big. And I remember that he was super focused on when the like my wife is doing blank or my family's blah blah blah. And it's so funny to watch what gets popular on Short Scary Stories and No Sleep, because there are very clear trends, and a lot of the time where it's just like, this is the biggest thing. People either do like realistic horror where it's family related, there's a family drama, it feels like the beginning 2/3 of Hereditary,
He's
or
not our
sometimes
child.
it's rule stories again, or it's going to be like mythology. And there's this just cyclical nature to No Sleep with what gets big. It's fun to watch.
Well,
What's your
and
favorite?
people want to read those things, though. I know authors bitch about tropes. Readers want tropes. They want them. I don't care what you say. Rebecca, that way in here, you're a moderator.
Yeah.
People want tropes?
They do. I think that's one of the tricky things we were talking about before on like readjusting things for the rules in the community. A lot of times what the authors want and the mods want is different from what the readers want. The readers do like tropes. That's why they do well. They do like the clickbait titles. And
The readers are
I think
wrong.
that's kind of hard to deviate from that. You'll have outliers, of course, but I mean, they're getting a few thousand upvotes for a reason.
It will. Two of my earliest successes, in fact, I've told Mash this, and I've probably told Jordan and Travis. Poppy, I know I told you about it. Two of my biggest early successes were written sheerly to metrics. I looked and saw, this is the trope, this is the title, and this is the time to post. And I'm not saying they were low rent stories that I didn't try it all on, but it was the kick game. I wrote that just because I said, oh, the left right game, $10 says. I write any story that says the blank game is going to be a hit. Doesn't matter what happens.
I like that story, man. You
It's-
dogged
This
on
is a
it.
decent story.
Buddy, it's no, and Mash, I'm not saying it's even a bad story. Even the stories that I'm telling you I wrote to metrics, I tried hard. I did. I tried to write a good cohesive narrative, whether they worked or not. But that
They
one
worked.
was written, it was a bet with another author who said you could not manipulate metrics to hit top of the day. And I said, yes, you can. And so I wrote Kick Game, and it was top. It was not a big top, but I think it was 1.5K at the time. And then the story about the cannibal wife, because I was talking to another author and said, I guarantee you that if I write a story that just says my wife, blah, 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 it'll be top of the day because people, I think it was very shortly after my wife is peeking at me. And I said,
Shout out
people
Malia.
really, people, oh yeah, no kidding. Malia girl, fantastic story, love it. And in fact, I hit top of the day because you wrote that good story and I rode the coattails of your title. But people love tropes.
I
They
think-
do. They read it just because they thought they were going to get a little more of this great story that they had already read.
So some of your best stories have come from spite. How can I spite you into unretiring exactly? What do I need to do here?
No, Mash, you missed it. Actually, I know you think I was kidding, but the thing I sent you about the fuck you crybaby thing.
I didn't doubt it.
No,
I was like,
buddy,
there's a 70% chance this actually happens.
I'm coming back out of spite. Somebody out there hates me so much that I cannot rob them of this rage. So I'm coming back to no sleep. I won't post as much, but I don't know, man. Every 2 weeks, I want to make crybaby cry somewhere, and so I am indeed stealing Travis.
You should just write something funny. You should just skirt the boundaries of every rule.
No.
Call yourself
Actually,
decorative gentleman.
I am decorative gentleman. No, Tom and I are the same person. I didn't want to tell you guys, but it's true. He's not
The
asleep.
two most
He is
attractive
me.
men in the server.
It's the beard, man. If I shaved, I'm not.
I'm not taking that one personally.
Travis.
I get
look,
it.
No, buddy. We
Deco
know
is
that-
just Deco's a god tier human being, lawyer, has the looks, 6 foot, whatever.
No, you're a height.
I
you're
heard what you,
placing 'em.
I heard what you said while I was brushing. I'm the right size, and anyone under or over is
on a
wrong.
pedestal.
I'm more or less
see
the
'em?
same size. So
And Nash goes, "Wow, they're 6 fucking 15 whatever."
Nash had to log on and tell
They
you
gotta
you were
duck
wrong.
those ceiling fans, so you're getting all those extra points. But which I get it. I'm one of the short guys on the server at a
I'm
normal-
shorter than you by like an inch, I believe. You're 5'10",
Yeah,
right?
we're a normal height. We could definitely round up fucking Jordan and Ryan as if they were Frankenstein's monsters, and put them in a burning windmill because
Look,
they
Jordan
can't
could
be
rock
trusted.
me to sleep. I'm not even in this conversation.
Yeah. I love how Jordan could just be like sitting here, just like hanging out, his cat's in the background. And if he wanted to, he could literally dunk on an NBA regulation basket. Like at any point, he could do that. I couldn't do that without a trampoline. I would need a lot of setup to actually make that happen.
You're giving me way too much credit.
You're
Well,
I
a-
think I can
joke.
jump. I can jump this high.
Be quiet, baby Boris Karloff. We're not listening to your shit.
That's good.
So anyway, Travis, way back to what we were talking about, man.
What were we
The-
talking about?
No, we will, because I'm going to wrap it up and see if we move on to another topic or put Travis to sleep. He's yawning a lot. Man, dad no sleep is fun, but again, back to the you know, buddy, what we talked about earlier, it's about community health. I like seeing up and coming authors stick around. I like I really enjoy seeing the new names pop up, and a couple of months later they are mainstay names. Scary Max comes to mind. It's not like I'm pretending like I mentored Scary Max, but we had some good early conversations. He's a good cat. And I kind of got to talk to him early into his career, and now Cat's already checking out. He's got an agent. He's moving on to bigger things, and so I think the biggest thing that you can do. I was talking to Mash, and I'll tell you, and I gave Mash a bunch of kind of depressing stuff when he was asking me, why are you stopping on no sleep? And I said, here's the thing, man. When I started no sleep, I wanted to get 500 upvotes, and I got them. And so I met that metric, and then I said, well, I want top of the day, and then I got it. And then I said, I want to get top of the day like 3 or 4 times in a week, and then I got it. And then I said, I want story of the month, and I got it. And then I said, I want to get nominated for one of the for the year categories, and then I got it. And at the end of it, and don't take me as ungrateful, but like I didn't feel much from it. I was just like, oh well, okay. But I'll tell you what the really cool thing has been is making these connections within the community and not necessarily feeling like I'm an instrumental part of what's going on in no sleep, but just the opportunity to feel like I'm making somebody's experience a little better. And so what has happened to me was, for about a minute, I feel like I was a big no sleep rider. My minute is over, and that's really a fine thing to me too. But for that minute, I was big in the main sub. And so now kind of the beautiful thing with that is getting acclaim and winning the day and getting the nominations and winning the month didn't really do much for me. But what has done a lot for me is being a name that is more so associated with community health and improvement and anchoring people and trying to move the ball forward. And so while I may not get a lot out of my personal accomplishments, man, I really, really love feeling like I've made the place slightly more positive. And I've seen all of you guys do it too. And so that's really what makes me happy as a no sleep rider these days, because you know what? I don't think I'm going to get back to going in there and plowing it down and getting top of the day 4 and 5 times in a week. But what I do get to do is build up those people who are going to get in there and do those things. And so that's really something I've enjoyed. So I don't know, man. That's all I've got to say about the dad sleep thing, dude. That is probably the best feeling I've had in no sleep, more so than any kind of accolades I've gotten. Is I think I'm a little bit more known for a positive word, and I don't think that's anything that's been a factor in my life. So I enjoy the idea of being a positive force in the community, and so that's kind of where I'm going to hang out these days. I'm not going to be the top of the day guy anymore, but I can be the good steerage guy.
You're at the top of my goddamn day every day. Okay, Trip?
You're my guy, Mash. You're my guy.
I love that you're doing the Discord groups that you've been setting up.
Yeah.
On No Sleep OOC. What is that, 3 now that you've done?
Yeah, I'm on my 3rd now, and it's a good one. I've got some good people in there. They're talkative. They're doing fun things. Sorry, I'm letting the dog out. They're doing fun things. They're really kind of, I don't know. It's like our old Discord groups used to be, where we got in and critiqued work and just trying to make each other better writers. And it's been very positive, and so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I like the idea that we're strengthening. I'm not making better writers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in there like mentoring the new generation, but man, I like being a part of it.
Very dad sleep thing to say.
I agree with that.
I don't know, it's fun, and you guys do it too, and hell, do more of it. I know you're all busy, but it's I don't know, man.
Uncribbled.
It's
I
what's
love
that
responding
mesh?
to those odd messages I get where it's like a newer person posting on No Sleep, or just like a newer writer, and they're just asking you, like, hey, I like your work. Can you give me some tips on
Yeah.
writing? Like, those are the first messages I respond to
Yeah.
ahead of
When he
anybody
says,
else.
talk to
Like,
Mash, he'll make
oh,
you
I'll-
write 5 parts in a day.
I will say I love
Mash is a slave master.
I absolutely love the amount of narrator messages that I get. And these days, sometimes I'll either link them to what I pinned on my profile, which is like what my narration policy is. Or I'll just link them to Mash's channel and be like, do better.
No, it's true. And in fact, and Mash, I hope none of this comes across as sideways. Mash is the definition of things that have made me angry. No. You gotta hear me all the way out, Travis. Come on.
Okay, absolutely. He just like sees Mash. He's like, you motherfucker. Like, listen.
No.
Listen.
Mash went ahead and went in and took all of the bullets out of my chamber because I got so used to free request narrators. And here's the thing, to be honest, Mash is not making the kind of money that induces the idea of paying authors. And I get that, and I do respect that. And the beauty of Mash Noir is this: Mash will ask you politely for a story, and then when you say no, he says, I get it, and I still really love your story, and I just want you to know you're a good author.
Yeah.
And that's his exiting the conversation message is, you didn't give me what you want. I want you to know that you're really good at what you do.
Which is nice. I do still take it personally that Mash literally will not fucking take a story from me.
No,
There's
Travis,
technically a
I've gone
loophole
from,
you
like-
could find. There's a loophole you could find to make me read one of your stories. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is possible.
I'm
If you
trying
look
so
on my
hard.
channel, you'll figure it out.
I'm like, hey, these stories, these are all open. Some of them have been narrated before. I don't usually charge for these, or if I charge for these, like, I'll just give you a pass. And Mash is like, no.
Hey, Travis,
I don't want to take your work and not pay for it.
Travis,
So,
I can
I'm not
tell
gonna
you
do-
something you can do to do it. I can tell you something right now.
I've learned my lesson. It's not going to
No.
work again.
No,
Okay?
it will. No,
I
Travis,
will-
listen to me. Ignore him.
All right.
Ignore little man. So, Travis, do you have a story that you want Mash to narrate?
And
Is
here's
there
the
one you
thing.
have in mind?
And this is very honest. The more I hear about Mash and the more I actually look at his channel, which is wildly popular now, it's like, oh shit, this might be in like another Ronnie coming up, another doctor.
It's gone down
I
the
think
drain
it
because I
is.
took 14 days off because of the
Man.
legs.
It's gonna come back, man. It's gonna come back.
I'm
Travis,
just seeing
is
like,
there a story?
do I get in now? It's like, is this he's rising to the top? This is the next big narrator. How the fuck do I squeak into that parking garage and be
I
like,
don't know,
hey,
man. I think Vidith is it. I'm
No,
a Vidith stan.
Vid is great, man, but Mash, you've got a voice. But Travis, you got to answer me.
All right.
Is there a story that you want Mash to do? One you have now that is available that you just think this story is for Mash?
So that's tricky. So there are a bunch that I would like for him to do. I know that some I have audio rights tied up. I do have at least a couple that got optioned, but I do have this Google Doc, which I brought up now, of what is available.
Well, tell me this. I'll refine this because we got a baby on the way. Travis, what could I give you $20 for on PayPal right now to buy the rights to your story to give to Mash? Because once my money is spent, he will narrate it. He will.
Oh,
Because Mash is
obligated.
not going to let me waste my money, Travis. So what for $20? What can I get from you, man?
I'm looking. So all right, $20.
God dang it.
No, Travis.
This
Actually,
kills
you know
my
what?
soul.
Travis, 40. We can go 40.
No,
I got 40.
I would even rather not, because I not even get the right side into it. So I've got some stuff that has been narrated before or is open. I think what I would love to hear Mash do is either Dr. Diablo's demonic dong.
which I know intimately from
You
previous
do,
Mad
yes.
episodes.
Which
I don't know if I ever.
Yes,
I never read that one.
I read it on another on
It
a previous
would hurt.
Mad stream.
It would hurt your feelings, Mash. In
It
the
was
best of
really funny,
ways.
actually.
No, it's a great story.
It is really good.
Or have you recently received a black envelope in the mail? Which was
That's a good one, too.
shockingly popular on No Sleep, and I was very surprised. Oh wow, it's over 6,000 now. I did
Who
not.
narrated that one? I feel like I've heard that one. Do you know?
I have only read it.
If it's,
I'm
it was
on the
probably Ronnie because I do work with him a lot.
Was it? I thought that was a Mr. Creeps thing, or I'm thinking about the newspaper at 12 a.m., aren't I?
It could be Creeps because I've worked with MCP. I've done some stuff with Lighthouse Horror. But these are ones that they never paid for exclusive, so they are still open. So Dr.
Well,
Demonic
Travis,
Dong, yeah.
you tell me what I can pay you for, and I will send you money, and then Mash will narrate it.
Well, that's the problem. I don't want you to pay me for these. Like any.
Can't you give me like a wink and a
don't let him
nod
do
so
it.
we can get him to do it?
Oh, at this
Wait.
point, I actually think I would probably get more value from your massive audiences, especially fucking Mash, who's like, goddamn, the new it kid.
Hey
on the
man,
block.
group's growing. You just look at his numbers every now and then.
That I've heard about. So if you pick one of these, I just put the Google Doc in there. If you want to do it, you can. And I feel like in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be like begging him, like, Mash, for the love of God, please. narrate
My
this
heart will
one
shatter,
story."
man.
Mash,
mean,
no, come on, dude. You are
Unless
doing
it
Blanketed in the
breaks
Stars.
100, it's just I can't pay.
No, Mash, you're doing Blanketed in the Stars. Take a story from Travis. He writes quality work. He wants you to do it. Work with him.
Thank you, Ryan, for advocating for me.
I'm
Like,
here
I
for
don't want you to
you.
pay me. These are the ones that are available. And at this point, I mostly just write commissions for people who are already like, I want to be the only person to read this.
Yeah.
I'll give you money. So the stuff that's here is just like, I haven't been able to sell these. Knock yourself the fuck out.
Mash, pick a story.
Maybe one day.
No,
We'll
no,
see.
no, Mash. Tell me right now that you're going to pick a story. I'm going to kick you out of the stream.
It's fine.
Do it. Say
If
the word.
Mash, if he sticks to his guns of just like being unwilling to read any of my freebies, I'm just gonna write him a goddamn exclusive without his permission
Yes.
or
Yes.
any money involved, and be like, Mash, this is your store. This is only for you. I don't want any money. Please read it once. And if not, I'll find you.
Mash, if you don't do it, I'm going to write an erotica sequel to She Will Come to Me, Blanket in the Stars.
Yeah, I mean, Deco's waiting for that. He's
Yeah.
wanted it.
No, I
We're all
won't do the
waiting
good
for
job
that.
Deco does.
I think he'd read it from you and be happy regardless.
Mash, will you narrate Travis's story?
Maybe one day when I have money.
Motherfucker.
I
All right.
have a great internship lined up for the summer. We're good. Okay.
I'm disappointed.
Give me like 6 months.
I'll give him this. I'll say like, first of all, love his narration. Also, I've never felt so desperate to have a narrator read my work without giving me money. I'm just like,
By the way, Mash, while you're here, for all of our listeners, which are in the literal single digits, go ahead and shout out your channel, man. People, J Group, Jordan does put these up on his channel. So give us a shout out for your narration channel, buddy.
is
What narration
denominator.
channel? I'm just Mashnor Kabir. That's my YouTube channel. It has 90 subscribers and I make educational content on the internet. Thank you.
I'm looking it up. I know it's very big. Hold on.
It's called Animas, Animas. It's very good.
All right.
It's okay.
Animus
It's a
for-
mix mash of Vidith and Ronnie.
I do have this hunch that Nash is gonna be the first like famous one out of all of us.
And I'm okay with that.
I don't know how I feel about the fact that I offered Mash a story and he like took it no problem. But
Yeah. That one was so personal to you. And I was like, wow, he's never offered it to anyone ever. Part of me is like, every now and then I get a little nervous to do a story. I was definitely a little bit nervous, but we'll put the waterworks into the microphone and I hope you're out of commission for like 3-4 days from emotional damage. And I've succeeded then.
yeah, I'm sure I will be. I'm sure your fans will be upset because it's not really a horror story as much as just a tragic, sad
I don't
story.
care, man. As half of the story, I do a good lot of work from r/short stories that isn't horror. I've done a couple third person stories. Fine. I enjoy the esoteric stuff completely. I think it's sick. The Devil's Confession was third person. The Night I Tried to Kill Myself was super short. That was from r/short stories. My Sister Was a Sociopath. That was from short stories. That one did great. Everyone loved that one.
Mash, you do good work, man.
I do my best. I'll say that.
You do the best. That's what I heard. Mash
I said
does
my
the
best.
Mash does the best. You heard it here. Mash does the best. Poppy, have you ever heard any of Mash's narrations?
I have not heard his or Jordan. So
Wow.
I'll be honest, I don't really listen to a ton of narrations. I used
Must be
to.
nice to
Fair.
read fast, huh? Goodness gracious. Can't do it.
Yeah. But you probably have better, like, you retain it better than I do, I bet.
Yeah, my retention is probably like 95, 98%. It's spectacular how well I can remember a story. I can still remember so much of Deco's He's Not Our Effing Son story.
That is
How much-
really impressive. Like, I have a little bit of a goldfish memory for even like other forms of media. I'll watch a movie and then 2 months later, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened in that movie. I
I'm
remember maybe a few
My
scenes.
memory is
I'm
like
the
one
same
of
way.
my few redeeming factors next to my voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I'm now stalking Master's channel. Almost 11,000 subscribers, and you have
I
broken
don't know how that
100,000
happened.
views on at least several.
Yeah,
videos.
that author did not let me pay him, and I was very upset. I
Let's-
kept offering over and over, and you know what he did? He said, "I'm gonna write uwu in the next story, and you're gonna read it." He did, and I read it, and I have to edit that now.
I've always made
Oh.
bad choices.
That hit me with the mash.
I
four.
did
What
always
author
make
was
bad
it?
choices.
Let's see. Scary cryptid story from the internet. Blah 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 blah. Very good, very good. Oh wait, who is the author then? Of
02321.
Hmm.
nope.
Yeah, they don't hit the biggest numbers. I know Trip has talked to him a little bit. Great dude, very nice guy. But he says, I write for fun and I don't want any money. Like Creeps has done a bunch of stories from him. Vidit's done a couple, like one or two, and he's never taken money from any of them. I kept trying to offer, and he's like, brother, people have made way more money than you did. I never took it from them. Not going to take from you.
That's nice.
I have now found them.
Kind of. I felt bad still.
Okay, now that is interesting because they do also have a Ko-fi or whatever account where you can donate money to them. So maybe they just are against narration money.
He said if it was commissioned, he'd ask for payment. But other than that, he doesn't want to deal with it.
Okay, that's how I feel about starting my OnlyFans. Whatever.
I've actually got a pre-subscription in with OnlyFans waiting for you to launch. So if you could get in on that, my $5.99 a month is really going to waste.
You're welcome, but that is only the copper tier. So there are many others. There's
Come
tin,
on,
there's
man.
bronze, there's like 8 different kinds of platinum.
By the way,
there's some very dark stuff. If we
well, and I'm a fan. That I'm an only fan.
you literally my only fan.
I said it. I said it.
You did. He
And
said,
by the way, for those of you watching, if you want to know Mashnoor's name on YouTube, I have changed his name to I Am Animus on YouTube. It's been up for 5 or 10 minutes now, so you can rewind that to remind you. But you'll want to check
Yeah.
him out. He's a dirty liar and pretends that's not him, but it is.
Yeah. Ego Volt Anima Vestra.
I'm sure all of the
That's what the
people
channel
watching are going to
says.
be like, I've already seen Animas on YouTube.
know,
I already
I
know,
know.
Animas.
I'm already
Like,
subscribed.
it's funny
Yeah.
they were all like, hey, let's promote Animus, and like anyone who might accidentally see this on Twitch is gonna be like, why is this one famous guy hanging out with all these other fucking weirdos? Like, what's...
Which is a fair question.
I don't know about that one.
There's
No, well,
one,
we
one
do.
celebrity.
You number 3 story and no sleep motto. You're big, man.
It's true.
Literally no one could find me in a crowd. Even if they were a massive No Sleep fan, they'd be like,
Well, I mean, it's not like my face is all over the Animus channel either, is it?
But
You know?
your voice is there. Like you could be at
Oh, oh.
Starbucks and you'd be like, Frappuccino Grande.
Hey,
And like half the Starbucks
when
would
I-
be, well, first of all, they'd immediately be pregnant. Man or woman, they would just get hit by that. And then
When
the
I,
ones who resisted would be like,
my voice when I like order stuff, or like when I ask for like ranch or something at a store, like I talk like this. It's like very quiet, very low, and it makes me feel very respectful. Because
I think
this
you
voice
lean
feels
in.
like very rugged and rough and just mean. And I'm like, I've worked the service business. I understand. Can
You
I
do your
please have
Animus
some ranch?
voice, you lean in and you go like, in a world that's gone mad.
That's pretty
Mash, have
good.
you really thought about confusing people and try to talk like this?
One
I,
man must narrate.
I have a
bunch of
couple
stories.
narrated, I have a couple voices that are like that. The higher pitch ones are risky, but the female voices are always, everyone loves those.
All right, Mash and Poppy. So you two you have written, and I have read something from both of you, but here is my question to you. So since you guys are not primarily writers, pick a writer in this group right now and tell them what story you would want them to write. What kind of story? Give somebody here a prompt.
Okay.
Let me just channel
I
my
mean,
inner
other than
Jacob.
she will come blame, the erotica version of it.
Everyone just wants that trip.
Yeah.
You got to give the people what they want, man.
I
Post it
don't
on No
have-
Sleep. Let's see how long it lasts before it's taken down.
Look, you have a mod here. She's just gonna call them and be like, guys, watch out for this shit.
I'm gonna call him and be like, just let it be. Just shh, it's fine. Let's see. That's tricky to pick something that you guys haven't done, because like Jordan's so prolific, he's written so many different types of things too. All of you have kind of you've covered a lot of ground. So it's tricky to pick something that you haven't done.
Yeah, we're
They are the
prolific,
writer. They are the
okay.
ones that come up with the ideas. That is why I am the
Exactly.
reader. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Mash
not
and I are
coming up
similar
with
that
stuff.
we do better with writing nonfiction. Although Mash, I have
I'm a
one
nonfiction
story
boy.
and one no sleep story. If you want, you can have it, but it's all female characters. So-
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
And
I
it was
have like
good.
3
It was
voices I can
good.
do.
Jesse's coming
It's
in.
Hawaiian shirt.
Like if we stay on long enough, eventually
Everyone will come in.
everyone will
Everyone
cycle.
will
in.
eventually come back.
So
Oh,
based
shit,
on the
Hawaiian
Discord
shirt is here.
conversation, I think it's a good idea that we went ahead and purchased the Zoom account. Because we're
Do we
going on.
have? Is anyone watching though?
Oh yeah, we actually, oddly enough, and Poppy, I know this won't be a big deal to you, but guys, we're 3 hours and 15 minutes in. We have 5 viewers. 5.
That's pretty baller. I'm
Like
On
impressed.
right
Twitch?
now, there's 5.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, there's 5 people on Twitch right now. that
Isn't
are
there a
still
midnight all day
watching.
channel on YouTube? Why do you guys not stream on that? I don't know.
Actually, we've just done it on Jordan's. We always talk about really doing something with Midnight All Day, but you know what we don't do is actually do something with it.
So I'm just gonna throw this out here. If we decide to do any more midnight all day mad streams, Mash is in charge. It's just
I'm okay.
I didn't
with
even
it.
think of doing it on YouTube, but that's probably a better idea, honestly.
like we can literally pass a hat around and be like, "Here, Mash, here's some money, please." Give us an idea of like
Yeah.
how we're stuck at what we're
Make
doing,
us not look like ass clowns.
because we do
You-
kind of look like.
Hey
fucking-
man, you're a marketer. That's your job. Why do I need to do it?
Not for live streaming, not for any of this like.
Live streaming is super complicated. Twitch is not a good place to grow, but I've been on YouTube. I've made YouTube content. I mean, technically, I made a Gario content as a middle schooler, so I've been
See,
doing YouTube. For
I don't
a
even
long
know
That makes
what
me
it is,
feel
but it
very
sounds
old.
like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I was just
Been
gonna
around
say
the
this
block.
is now like an OnlyFans stream, and Ryan and Jordan are gonna have to either take off their pants or their shirts. Someone's gonna
Both.
have to lose a beard. I don't know. I don't know.
Shirt
Well,
heard that and left. He got
Here's
upset.
the-
He did not
well,
like that.
No, he got hot and bothered. You read that wrong. And here's the thing, Travis, you don't know that I'm not currently pantsless. I'm just throwing that out there.
He's
I like to
definitely
think that you
pantsless.
wear like Ryan, not just a regular t-shirt, but like one of those really long like moo
Like
t-shirts.
the 90s.
Then
Yes,
I
it's
like
like-
that, yeah, he's wearing like the 90 and he needs like the
just
little
because I'm
hat so he
proud of
can-
this shirt,
Whoa. Okay.
Not today.
Oh,
It's an AT-AT
Oh,
at not today.
but I want to picture you wearing like the old timey nightgown, so that way you can go like full like honk shoe, like me.
and like he's got the pointy cap, and then he just like walks
Yeah.
in his house with like
I-
a single lit candle. Like, oh my god.
No, and
In the
that's
little
exactly
silver
what I was
thing.
going to say.
All I'm
no, if
saying,
I-
person of color, you say pointy hat, I get scared. Calm down.
Oh,
over there, bud.
no. I'm not that guy. I'll make the misogynist joke, but not the racist one.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard you say some things about Michael Jordan before.
Oh my lord, no, that was
Hey,
not
Ryan,
me.
that's so brave of you. Just like I'll be sexist, but that's the only
But
reason
not
I'll
racist.
be.
I
Hey,
draw
look.
the line.
We've got to be realistic here, okay? I'm still waiting on the sandwich from Poppy, but I'm not going to say anything racist.
You're gonna be waiting a while.
You
I'll
have to
hand
have
it
a
to you when I body slam you.
okay. As long as you give me a sandwich, beggars make bad choosers.
Here's the thing. Now I really want a sandwich because I feel like we should have all ordered sandwiches much earlier.
It's
Jesse.
Jesse.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
I made it.
Thanks for showing up. They're
I
trying to
don't know
tell
what
me
time it
it's
is over there in Hawaii, but I'm assuming it's
Midnight.
1 a.m.
all day.
Literally just a pile of Jack.
Dig the
Lemon
eyeliner,
whiskey.
bro.
Yeah, it's a little smudged.
It looks good.
That's all right
Looks
though.
like
How you
you're
guys
Robert
doing?
Smith from The Cure.
You look really healthy with that makeup.
Oh, I know. My best angle.
You don't look like you have tuberculosis at all.
Not at all.
Hey Jordan, you're not gonna monetize this. I'm just
This was lost a
No.
long time ago. I'm still wondering about if.
Oh, are we
Deca
still live?
is-
oh yeah, well, no, we're
Yeah.
live, man. You're here looking like you're about to sing the,
Oh, cool.
the Cure for us.
And apparently, Jesse, there are 4 or 5 people who are on.
There's
Fine.
still 5 people. Hey, and I just want to know 5 people here. I appreciate all of you. But Dominator, if you're still in the crowd, just shoot us a message. I just want to see if you've put up with this for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Because if you have, you are the real MVP. And I
Well,
think that
once
you
I
are
joined,
Lady
it's not a
Gaga.
chore to listen anymore. You can just turn my voice into an instrument and you're good.
Oh,
You're
listen
not
to
wrong.
that. It's true. You do have a great voice.
We only have so much
It's my only
screen for that
redeeming
ego.
quality.
There is somebody in the chat who wants us
Just saying.
to watch their music video and respond and comment on it live on stream.
Let's see it.
Oh,
You want to do it?
What music video is it?
yeah. Hang on, Jordan. Do you already have it pulled up?
No, I don't have it pulled up yet, but it's
Well, I'll
called.
tell you what, man. Since you already know what's going on, I'm going to make you a co-host. No, we're just going to do this damn thing. This
Hey.
thing ran off the rails hours
And
ago.
Dominator
said
is
the
still
thing.
here, by the way.
No,
Dominator's
Dominator.
19
Still here.
is still here.
I
Dominator, as
God.
your gift from us, I'm coming out of retirement. You can name a ridiculous writing prompt, and somebody here will write it for you because it's amazing that you've stayed here this long.
You know, it'd be
So-
fantastic though if Dominator is the one who called you a fucking crybaby.
No,
Like,
and I wouldn't.
Dominator.
No, I suddenly have a newfound respect for them.
Has been in like the entire time he like saw the surf and he's like this motherfucker in particular.
I
Oh, it's-
respect that kind of ability to stick with us. Like if Dominator hates me, but they have stayed for 3 hours and 20 minutes, it's a level of hate that I have to respect on a deep and fundamental level.
You guys have been at
That's
this for 3
dedication.
hours?
3 hours and 20 minutes, man, 22. This is
Holy
by far
shit.
the longest and probably most aimless stream we have ever done.
And
You're
had a-
welcome.
I had a
We
friend
did-
come like right at 9. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. And then you're still going.
And Jesse, so you missed Simba, you missed
Oh,
Deco.
damn.
Both Simba and Deco were on
Missing
here.
Deco makes me a bit sad. I'm very curious what we'd be like in a room together.
Deco, and I was about to call you Animus. Mashnor, I made the suggestion to buy some Woodford double oak to Deco, and it was the death of him. probably had roughly the same amount of intake, and he passed out sometime about an hour and a half ago.
Oh
He
no.
also weighs like 40 pounds. So
True.
No. I'm
We're-
not saying there's no difference between us, Travis. Don't get me wrong. It's a completely different game. I'm the size, but I weigh as much as a tree.
Yeah.
But
he's 6'15", maybe 112 pounds. And you made him drink Woodford Reserve.
I didn't make him. I
You
suggested it would be a
did.
good
You
idea.
did. No, like you bearded at him. Like
Look, I've bearded at all of you, and it hasn't whipped all of you into my bidding, which I wish it would.
I'm not a scarecrow on retreat. And
But you could be. You could be my scarecrow, Travis.
See-
That is an option for you.
Ryan, here's my concern: is that if we do no sleepover, I think I can drink more than you.
Wow.
Oh.
And
That's a
I'm-
bold claim.
Guys, here's why that is okay that he thinks that, because even if you're right, I win, because Travis said if I make the arrangements for our housing that he will cover my drinks for the week.
Oh no, I did say
He did say that.
Yeah, I
You
did.
did, and so
I
all I
did.
see that is if we stay together for 4 days, that's 4 opportunities for me to outdrink you, and I'm gonna go home in a net positive for you buying my drinks.
Literally not buying alcohol. If you arrange a house, yeah,
No,
I stand by
but
it. I
it's
stand by
and I won't abuse you. I'm just saying it's a win for me, because if we get in a drinking competition, if I lose, I still want a night of free
And you
drinks.
still want to give me free stories, Motto. You see what this is not gonna work.
I mean, Ronnie and Dr. No
He's a
Sleep pay
giving
pretty
man.
well. So I will use all of that commission money to apparently supply an endless stream of wine and liquor. But yeah, no,
Where did
if
group
you
go? He just walked away. What happened in the music video? He's just gone. He just disappeared. What the frick?
Yeah, I gave him
No,
co-host,
it's
and he
the,
was just
there's a
not
Canadian
participating.
check-in. Every couple hours, everyone in Canada has to check in.
No. The bare naked ladies came and knocked on his door to do a welfare check.
Good.
Back, and we're all playing hockey. So
Where'd you go, group?
What are you
We had
talking
two
about?
theories. Which one was it? Is it a
I
Canadian
went to go
check-in
pee.
or the? Oh, I see. Okay, that one's.
you know,
He's
he's
lying.
actually probably doing matches. He was uploading different videos to compete with your channel on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job. I see the numbers going up by like 100 every week. His average view count.
I'm just saying, I've done voices for Jordan's channel. I haven't done any for yours. So I.
Oh my
think-
gosh,
Same.
Jordan.
Same.
I've
owe
only
you a
had one
voiceover.
author ever be on their own story, and it was great. It was Saturday. His Swedish accent was lovely, but man, having someone else's voice in my channel is so much extra work. For the group, I read him a story in like 20 minutes and gave it to him. I was done. Great world. But for editing, it's like, oh, I got to deal with their microphone. I have to reverb it in the same way that I reverb mine, make it sound like it's in the same room as every other character. It's a thing.
I will give it a general shout out to basically every narrator on YouTube. The backroom story that I did for Ronnie recently,
Was sick.
he did such a good fucking job.
It was
Like
great.
it
Has
almost
he done any of your
embarrasses
stories
me.
that he didn't? I mean,
He
he's-
did.
this
Yeah,
guy
no,
is a studio. I don't understand how he can reach like the Nightmare Fighting Tournament. That 6-hour thing. It was Q code level production from just him. I
Which,
don't understand.
In my opinion, the source material not that great, but Ronnie is just like fucking. It's like a home run derby. Like they've got a pitching machine set up, and he's just like motherfucker. Perfect songs, perfect sound mixing, perfect narration.
Yeah, he's something else.
And the thing he did with mine is that he transitioned between the regular narration into a story immersive element where it was a like a voice log, because I originally wrote it as a journal, and then
I
he
like that a
made it
lot. It was really good.
to an audio journal, and he changed like the
It was
reverb,
badass.
everything for like several minutes of the recording, and then he slowly bled it back into just a normal narration, and it's just good. It's like
Yeah.
absurdly good. I was really blown away, and I hate that like I felt good about the story, and then he read it and I'm like, his version's better. It's like not even.
He has a way of doing that. It's incredible. A lot of my like editing stuff will be inspired by him. The voices and whatnot are inspired by Vidith, but his like the sound effects and everything. Because I mean, he's wanted to be a it was he wanted to like make music for like movies and stuff. Like that was his dream as a kid, his entire life. And so he like would work on the piano at his grandma's house and stuff. And now he is what he is, making music and doing everything for his own channel.
Yeah, it's those little touches that really put it over the top too. Like I'm starting to try to do that a little bit more with my videos. Like I'm not a good editor or sound effects person like Mushnur here is, but I'm trying to, you know, like I don't know, like I find one of the first stories I wrote, the first series I ever wrote, the one that became Beneath the Asylum, my novel, Mr. Creepypasta did it. And there was parts where it was like the characters are talking back and forth in a walkie-talkie because they're security guards. And he made it sound like a walkie-talkie. And I just remember listening to that the first time and being like, holy shit, like it just like put it to that next level, you know, like it just makes it feel more real. And as the author for sure, and definitely as the listener, you appreciate those little touches, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we can all remember some really good narrations of our stories that the narrator did such a good job. Listening to it almost felt like you didn't write it.
Yeah.
Everyone
I do
except
remember
everyone except for Mash, who literally won't take some of our stories and is only slightly hurting our feelings, accepting.
You just got to trick him, Travis. You got to trick him, man. He is doing She Will Come to Me, Blanket in the Stars, because I tricked him.
70 cents per word.
I'm gonna like actually put out material as an alt and try to get back on No Sleep's, you know, top of the day. Just so I
I try to look through new often. Like usually if it pops up in my feed, I'll look at it.
And I'm gonna target it towards you. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm you know, I'm a Twitch streamer, and like I'm stuck in like a haunted house. Like, ooh,
what
narrator like reads
when
my
you look
story,
through
like,
my channel,
ooh.
is there like a theme of like, yeah, this is the title he's gonna do? Like
You tell me what the theme needs to be. There's gonna be a bunch of alts tomorrow.
You've got to be careful though.
I've
when
been given
Mash
so many
messes with
stories. I'm probably not gonna be looking on No Sleep for a couple weeks. I'm like going down to one per week for a bit, so I'm like good for a little bit.
Wherever you go, whenever you check your mailbox, there's gonna be a goddamn story in there. Like, hey, Mash, read me. Like you're gonna be out there just like pick up an Amazon package, and you're gonna open it, and instead of one of those things where it's like the spring snakes pop out, it's gonna be like 40 of my stories. It's like fucking read me. Like
You've got to be careful though, because Mash told me he was going to send me a harassing message from an alt account with the worst free request narration that I've ever seen. And so the next day,
this was so bad.
Oh my Lord. So this kid sends me a message, and it is the most low rent possible narration request I've
I just
ever
remember
received.
my leg is broken here. I'm just a simple depressed boy, and Trip messages me something about being a German something, and I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Oh man, I read this kid a riot act. I was just like, Mash, you giant piece of shit.
I was like, bro, what did I do? I did nothing.
No, this is what I said to the narrator. I mean, I'm like, Mash, this is ridiculous. You're an idiot. And this guy's like, what?
Yeah. He says to the narrator, like the first message he sends back to the narrator is, hey, Mash. You know, it is not me.
And like I went on to verbally berate him because I thought it was Mash. It's really some 15-year-old German kid.
What did the message say initially? Like, what was the
message? Was just it actually, he ended up telling me later, he was like, I'm not good at English, so I had Chat GPT write this message for me.
Oh no.
But it said like, hello, enter your name here. I really entered the story name here. It was one of my favorite stories. May I narrate this? And I was just like, this is Mash, that son of a bitch. And so I verbally accosted this kid. I was just like, you're an idiot. I hope you die in a house fire. And then Mash is like, no, it's not me. And so I'm like, hey, narrator, can you send me a link to your channel? It's a 15-year-old German kid.
Trip did not believe me. I had in my religion.
No, for 2 days.
Yeah, I'm a Muslim dude. And in my religion, it's a wallahi. If you say that, it's like you mean it. And I was like, Trip, this is like, if I say this, like I like on the name of God, I'm not lying. Wallahi, that wasn't me.
So I finally checked with him, and God bless Mash. He's right. It wasn't him. I verbally accosted a German teenager for hours.
Mostly,
Was it Ren?
No, I
No.
wish it was red, then I could sleep well at night.
overall, Ryan just broke the spirit of some poor teenagers. Like,
No, I did.
Oh
You-
no.
I would
Yes,
love
I-
to get in a narration, and Ryan's like, "Fuck you! You're never gonna amount to anything. Burn your channel down."
So Travis, there's your dad's sleep, okay?
Well, sometimes Dad apparently goes out in the yard and is like, "Pick a switch," and then
You know,
just-
Dad's got to swing that belt sometimes, and that kid messed around.
but hopefully, no.
If you're listening,
sleepover.
though, child, no hard
If
feelings.
the first no sleepover is good, which also I don't know if you want to put an OOC post out there. I think we decide what city we're going to, whether it's Pittsburgh or Virginia. I'm sure it has cities, or where the fuck we end up.
Yeah, there's a couple up there
Man,
somewhere.
Richmond is almost Washington, D.C.
You're all like in the zone of, because I'm in Maryland, so the closer you get to Maryland, I'm like, yeah, let's go there. That'll be great.
Well, and that's kind of my pitch. I'm not gonna lie. Part of my thing is I'm in Kentucky. Traveling to Richmond is way more reasonable than Pittsburgh.
I mean, Deco
Mash-
would love it if you went to Richmond. He's good.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that Kentucky actually has cities. I'm not convinced. So I think
There's only 3.
I had to do
Three.
some research on Kentucky for one of the stories I was writing. Yeah, there's nothing there. It's
No,
it's just,
well, and
there's
I
nothing
will
there.
tell you
Nothing.
this. I will.
Went on to
I'll tell you
Google
that-
Maps. I was like looking for places to bury dead bodies. Nothing.
it's just
Everywhere.
barren. There's like
Mash, no, that's where you're wrong. That's why we're the right place to bury a dead body.
oh,
But you know what's wild about Kentucky? So we are small. No, that's true. Actually, I can't argue with anything Travis just said. But we're small, but we have the 20th largest city in the country.
which okay.
20.
So there's 50 states.
There
So
is.
that is like
49. Florida doesn't count.
all right. That is
It shouldn't, but
basically
it does.
the definition of mid. You're like, we have
No,
one
no,
of the most
buddy,
mid
it is.
cities that's ever mided. Like, if you want something exactly in the middle,
Travis, nobody's arguing with you. But isn't that not kind of strange though that a state as small as Kentucky has the 20th largest city?
no, because there's a bunch.
I think
of
it's
other
weird.
They got
words.
nothing else to put there.
I
So
think
they
it's
just built the
way-
city.
All right, so you could look next door and be like, all right, Alabama, Oklahoma,
Alabama.
Arkansas, Louisiana. All
I
those
like
are
how
not-
How do you
derogatively
know
you
these
said
things?
Alabama.
Alabama, Mississippi. I did used to date a girl who really loved Tennessee. So go Vols, go Volunteers, Tennessee.
Yeah,
The college team with the orange.
Rocky Top.
So I will slightly give Tennessee an edge, but also Arkansas to me looks a lot like Arkansas. So literally Kansas having an understudy as a state is like, why the fuck would you ever go there?
And no, comparing Arkansas to Kansas is a complete insult.
to which
That is-
one?
No, that is unkind of Kansas.
Who has
Like-
worse tornadoes?
At
Oh,
least
God.
Kansas came up in Wizard of Oz. Arkansas comes up in a lot of incest cases. Okay,
Oh
it's-
no.
Does
I
that
mean,
make
he said Alabama a second
jealous?
ago as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
Yeah.
like Alabama a little uncomfortable, where it's just like, why is Arkansas stealing our thunder
I don't know. It's-
and our cousins? I don't know.
and I think Lewis Black kind of hit the nail on the head. Arkansas is the 49th school district in the country, and they moved up to 48th. And Lewis Black said it was because they stopped children from eating Cocoa Puffs and going to recess and running until they poked their eyes out with a stick. Okay, it's a rough place.
That'll do it. I've always heard
My
that
God.
that Mississippi is super grateful for Alabama because Mississippi gets to slide in at 49th out of all the states because Alabama is like storming into last place.
It's true.
I'm not
That's rough.
sure.
New
How that
Mexico's
goes.
pretty far down there.
Yes.
Like we're high up on all of the bad ones, like low graduation rate, high teen pregnancy rate, high drug use, but it's not good.
Which
I
if
mean,
you
do have Breaking Bad, high drug use for sure.
We're not talking about Arizona, New Mexico drug use there. Okay.
those are fun because they have a lot of exciting local cuisine. It doesn't
Yeah, the
matter
blue
how
meth.
much,
Very nice
Yeah,
local
that's all we
cuisine.
eat is blue meth.
however much methamphetamine you have, if you have like a really nice local like pizzeria, there you go.
Does
I
meth
did
make
think
you
that
hungry,
Ryan was
though?
lying to me once about having Mexican food in Kentucky.
That was the weirdest comment I've ever received. Like, if there's, and I want to tread into this very carefully because, in fact, the Hispanic population in our state may actually be like the nicest, most productive, kindest population in the state. But in Kentucky, you have white people or you have Hispanic people. Like, it's
But I didn't know that because I'm an ignorant person in New Mexico and we don't have good education.
it's
So
well,
how
no,
am I supposed to know that?
no, well, and the beauty of that is that's the stereotype for Kentucky.
Fair.
Like we don't know anything. Like we're oddly a culturally diverse state with some terrible, terrible white people.
I feel like Kentucky though has like a weird romanticism to it, where everyone's just like, Kentucky, that's where my bourbon is grown, and
Yeah.
Well, it's
like,
and there are some great places. Like honestly, if you guys pitched to me and you said, "Hey, we'll go anywhere in the United States," I would tell you guys to come to Lexington, Kentucky for the no sleepover. It is a really good, culturally diverse place. It's very kind to people. I hate to say this, but it's for Kentucky. It's the 21st century city. It's fairly fairly competent for what we have going on.
You go to Alaska. I mean, if you could anywhere in America, anywhere in the American
I've
states,
been to Alaska. It's
Alaska,
I'd go to
Alaska, no
Cold.
sleep.
What's the no sleepiest place in America?
probably
what's the no-
Alaska.
The scariest. Yeah, I guess it is probably Alaska.
Because there are a lot of just like, hey, there's a blizzard, you're stuck in a cabin, there's a Wendigo like tapping at the
There's
door.
no sun for this
There's
many
an
months
aurora
in the
borealis.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to
Mhm.
Alaska. That's basically their fucking state motto. It's just
Oh,
like,
Jesse had enough of our crap.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about Hawaii and it didn't happen. I think he was hoping it would happen.
I just looked up. All right, so the top states by education, since we're looking into them in case this is going to be the next one to host a no sleepover. Number 1,
Washington.
Massachusetts.
That's what I would have guessed.
Like by a lot. Apparently Massachusetts is smart as shit. Which
And they've
MIT.
got
Yeah,
MIT.
okay. All right. Oh, fair.
Which again, it's
Okay.
interesting because they've got Boston. So
Mm.
everywhere that isn't Boston is really carrying that weight. Dragging that out there. Number 2 is Connecticut.
What do they got over there? What the frick is going on? I'm not a geography guy. I couldn't name the 50 states if you asked me. What is a Connecticut? Where are they? What are they doing?
That I think is the main thing. Like, there's literally nothing in Connecticut. So, like, we're gonna quietly do super well in standardized testing, and no one say anything to anybody. Like, that is what it is. Number 3 is New Jersey, which I now have some questions about.
No, I
You're looking
actually
at the
don't
wrong
believe
list,
that.
brother. You need to go to a different
No,
list.
Travis,
Something's wrong
New
here.
Jersey is a state that Kentucky looks down on. I reject that.
As someone who's driven on the New Jersey Turnpike, there's something wrong with everyone who lives in that state. But I get that
Yes.
maybe they have good schools and just like they've given up on everything else in life. I don't know. And then number 4 is Virginia. Number 5 is my friends Maryland, and number 6 is Delaware.
I do my best here.
So
What are
all
the
places-
last ones? The bottom one.
Okay, so all right, so going backwards,
Canada's above all of this, by the way, group. Just
Yeah.
no,
somewhere, it's
not
somewhere
even
else.
fair.
Okay,
Like,
it's just
Canada-
gone.
Our number 1 is like 10% of what Canada does. So.
We're not quite a state yet, but pretty soon.
Guys, you have too few guns and way too much universal health care.
No, we plan to annex you, Jordan.
Yeah, no, we're expecting it. It's okay. We're ready for it.
We desperately wish, like, just for the maple syrup alone. I don't know. All right, so the worst.
We've annexed things for less before. Hawaii, I mean, shirt left, but Hawaii has a great story.
Oh no. Hawaii. All right. out of all the school systems on this ranker, which was for 2022, so I don't know if it's changed. The last place with a score of 26.07 out of 100, New Mexico.
I told you we're a bunch of dummies.
By
Your
a
reading
good-
speed's
yeah.
still faster than me. It's okay.
Last place by a good bit. Second to last place is Alaska.
That's really what the frick?
I think Alaska, there's like so few schools, it probably messes with their ranking.
In high school, I was curious if I could like apply to an engineering school in Alaska. I never did it. I don't know if they had one.
Yeah, they might have one engineering school.
That would have been great.
If you
They're-
applied to an engineering school in Alaska, they would just try to teach you how to make better matches.
Hey man, maybe I'd pass the classes.
It's like your final assignment is everyone has to build a boat so you can get out of Alaska.
Well, and it makes sense though why
What was-
Alaska would be so low. Most educational funding is based upon population and taxes. So
Hey, but you
A
get
lot of people up there.
$2,000 a year just for living in Alaska. They got a small UVI going on there.
well,
Okay, I
that
mean
ought
they
to tell
got
you
it.
something though. If your state motto is, "Hey, we'll pay you to live here," shit's not going well.
Very, I do think, no, I think you're right with the population being a factor, because Alaska is the second lowest, but again, has so few schools. I think it probably plays a factor. And then number 3 lowest, Louisiana.
I
After that,
guarantee.
Arizona, then West Virginia, then South Carolina.
West Virginia.
South Carolina kind of surprises me.
Yeah, they I think North Carolina is, wait, actually, all right, so it says South Carolina is number 46, North Carolina is number 29. So very small amount of distance, huge amount of difference in school ratings. After South Carolina, again moving upwards, there's Oklahoma, then Oregon, Mississippi, Alabama, kind of expected. Then it gets a little interesting because Hawaii is the next one, which
What number is this out of the 50?
41.
Again,
Oh.
population based, you're not getting a lot of tax money.
That is what I'm thinking. And then
Who's going to
also-
Hawaii for education? Come on.
I mean, I sure would.
He want a different education, brother.
You know what? I didn't finish college, so
And so
I
also,
gotta duck
this-
out, guys. My back's killing me from this chair.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Jordan, have a good
6
night,
foot
man.
problems.
Yeah.
See, me and Mato, no back problems. We're good.
Exactly.
Tired
True.
from scraping the snow off the top of all those mountains.
it's
Oh my God, I
it's
did
a
actually-
normal.
You know, I actually did shovel out my truck today, and it was horrible, and that's
Mhm.
probably why my back hurts right now.
Essentially, the big friendly giant trying to clear some fucking paths.
Jordan, have a good night, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
It's good chatting with y'all.
Being on this.
Yeah. Actually,
care.
you know, it's 1:30 here. I'm gonna call it too. It's been a
Bye-bye.
Travis, have a good night, man.
you all as well. We'll do this
Bye,
again
guys.
soon, and then I think maybe play some Cards Against Humanity and force Smash take some of our stories.
I mean, if you want me to read them live, it's different. I that would be funny, but that's fine. But
That's not what anybody's talking about.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Very
And-
good
and
one.
Travis,
ladies,
have a good
Bye.
night, buddy.
everyone. Thanks. See y'all.
Bash, Bob,
Yeah.
you guys got anything you want to talk about?
I mean, what do you got, Trip?
And I got nothing. The brain trust is already gone, so I'll harass you on the same thing. Mash, you should take some of Travis's stories as offering them. Take them. Poppy,
If he wants the real loophole, I'm so bad at recognizing like an author voice, quote unquote. I generally can't do it. If he sent me a story through my email, I probably wouldn't know it was him. I would just be
Well,
like, hey,
okay.
here's a story. And I'd be like, oh, it looks good enough. Yeah, I'll read this one.
Okay, well now I'll tell Travis. We'll solve the problem, man. It'll be fine.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's gonna mess
I-
up.
I
He's gonna
think
send
you-
it through the Travis email. I'm gonna be like, Travis Brown. I think I know that one.
I think you told me, so I would tell him. Twitch streamers, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We're gonna keep chatting, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off for the evening. I hope you all have a good night.
who's that one guy that's stuck around? You should
Dominator,
probably
thank
shout
you.
out.
No, actually, no, before we log off, Dominator, are you still there? We're gonna wait and find an answer from Dominator before we wrap this up for the night. Good call there, Mash. We're gonna give it a minute there. Dominator, if you're there, tell us you've stuck it out. See if you're one of the 4 people that have hung out.
There's gonna be like an
Really?
OOC comment of like, I'm Dominator. Hello.
I would love to know who Dominator was. I think it's fantastic that anybody.
Oh, hang on. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my headphones went completely dead. Well, I guess
Yeah.
Dominator has left us for the night.
Oh,
Oh,
your
now.
headphone. Oh, there we go. Trip, your audio is dead.
Yeah, now I don't hear you anymore.
He's talking a lot.
Oh no.
Oh man.